across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: fraudsters targeting the over 65s, election row over Trident, and woman's appeal to find missing horse.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters, according to new figures from the charity Age UK. It shows a third of older people who responded to a scam may have lost £1,000 or more. Sylvia Edwards from Luton handed over her account details to con men, but contacted the bank before anything was stolen.
I'm absolutely petrified about, how I could have been taken in, because I'm quite an intelligent woman and I don't fall for scams like this. So I just was absolutely shocked to find that I'd been taken in.
The Conservatives have accused Ed Miliband of being willing to put Britain's national security at risk by being prepared to barter away the Trident nuclear deterrent in negotiations with the SNP. Labour have described the claims as lies and smears. The charge is made by the Defence Secretary Michael Fallon, as Sean Curran reports.
There's a very interesting line in this Michael Fallon article, which he says, "Remember, Ed Miliband stabbed his own brother in the back to become Labour leader. Now he's willing to stab the United Kingdom in the back to become Prime Minister." That's very, very personal. That's a sort of personal attack on Ed Miliband, and that's Michael Fallon talking about the possibility of Labour and the SNP working together after the election.
The man accused of carrying out the bombing of the Boston Marathon 2 years ago has been convicted of all the charges against him. 3 people died and more than 260 were wounded when 2 bombs exploded at the finish line. A jury will now decide whether Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, who's 21, will face the death penalty. A woman was taken to hospital with burns after an aerosol can exploded in a bonfire in her Watford garden yesterday afternoon. The emergency services were called to Colne Avenue just after 3 p.m. The woman in her 20s was taken to Watford General Hospital. A survey of GPs has found that 9 out of 10 family doctors are concerned that their workload is harming their ability to care for patients. More than 15,000 doctors responded to the poll, which was carried out by the British Medical Association. A Buckinghamshire woman says she's been left distraught after she loaned her horse out, only to discover it was then sold at auction for £200. Jade Walters from High Wycombe says she decided to loan the chestnut pony out when he got too expensive to keep. More from Tony Fisher.
Jade says she'd owned 17-year-old Magic for over 6 years, but advertised for a temporary owner as the cost of his upkeep became too great. But last week, when she wanted to bring him home, she found out he'd been auctioned without her knowledge. An appeal for his whereabouts has been shared over 60,000 times on social media.
In sport, Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. And golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. The weather, another fine and dry day with long spells of sunshine, a maximum temperature 18 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3counties.
Hi there, nice to be with you. Happy you could stick around. Like to introduce Legs Larry Smith, drums. And Sam Spoon's rhythm pole. And Vernon Dudley Bohay Noel, bass guitar. And Neil Innes, piano. Come in, Rodney Slater, alto saxophone. With Roger Ruskin Spear on tenor sax. Hi, Vivian Stanchel, trumpet. Big hello to Big John Wayne, xylophone. And Robert Morley, guitar. Billy Butlin, spoons. And looking very relaxed, Adolf Hitler on vibes. Nice. Princess Anne on sousaphone. Introducing Liberace clarinet. With Garner Ted Armstrong on vocals. Lord Snooty and his pals tap dancing. In the groove with Harold Wilson violin. And Franklin McCormack on harmonica. Over there, Eric Clapton, ukulele. Hi, Eric. On my left, Sir Kenneth Clark, bass sax. Great honor, sir. Especially flown in for us, a Sessions gorilla on Vox Humana. Nice to see Incredible Shrinking Man on euphonium. Drop out with Peter Scott on duck call. Hearing from you later, Casanova, on horn. Yeah, digging General de Gaulle on accordion. Really wild, General. Thank you, sir. Roy Rogers on trigger. Tune in Wild Man of Borneo on bongos. Count Basie Orchestra on triangle. Thank you. Great to hear the Rollinsons on trombone. Back from his recent operation, Dan Drupp, harp. And representing the Flower People, Quasimodo on bells. Wonderful to hear Brainiac on banjo. We welcome Baldunicans himself. Very appealing Max Jaffa. That's nice, Max. What a team, Zebra Kid and Horace Batchelor on percussion. And a great favorite and a wonderful performer, all of us here, J. Arthur Rank on gong.
The show's not even started yet. It's not even started yet, and already it's better than anything Heart could manage. Seriously. They're probably playing Candy by Robbie Williams. Got a hurricane in the back of her throat. Oh, Robbie. We got a hurricane in your ears. Guys?
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Good
Kelly,
one,
you like that one?
Yeah, that was amazing.
I just pwned Williams. Robbie, not Robin, that would be inappropriate. That would be inappropriate. I'm not going to go any... There's no pwn of shit there. On the show today, phonies, ponies, bonies.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
Let me,
BBC
First of
Three
all-
Counties Radio.
First of all, let's say a big... I'm the talent on the show, but let's just say there's a lot of talent on the show. I think you know what I'm talking about, guys. Let's say a big hello to Catherine Boyle and Kelly Betts, the show's talent. Good morning, ladies. What are you wearing?
Why are you doing air quotes?
What are you wearing? Give a little description for some of the truckers out there and some of the bin men.
Track slacks, flip-flops and a baggy jumper with team building exercise 92 on it.
Ooh, like that, bin men. Kelly, for some of the publicans and the alcoholics out there, what are you wearing?
Leather pants.
Wowzers. Let's spin to the board of whiteness and see what's... I don't mean that in a controversial way. I'm not saying any of that, but let's spin and see what we've got on the show today, shall we? Kids Science. Kelly's phoning for another day. We'll do that another day. And when have you lost a day? Oh, that was it, wasn't it? That was a good one. When have you lost time? Maybe a whole day? Because we were talking about booze yesterday, and thanks to the guy that complained. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, he's the only one that complained, but he won't... And he will be listening today because, unfortunately, you can't listen to anyone else because there's no choice in Bedfordshire.
Someone complained, and the call got put through to Catherine Boyle, the worst person to receive a complaint, and I felt her irie rising. Oh, yeah. And I gave you the hand for the first time.
I don't do well with being told off, just so you know.
No. So if you want to tell Kath off today, 08459 455 555. But when have you lost a day? Biggs is on the line. Morning, Biggs.
Hello, my friend. How you doing?
Oh, you forgot your script there for a second. Do you want to take a run up at it again?
I'll tell you what, mate. I wasn't as bad as Kelly. Sounds like I just got out of bed. She's well knackered, isn't she?
Hey!
Anyway, Ian, you were quite correct, mate. The Look by Roxette, about 1989, mate.
That's a much better song, isn't it?
Oh, much better, yeah. Yeah, I like that one as well.
Now, the thing is, Catherine, we've got that song queued up. That song's going to happen. It's going to get played. There is no doubt about that. You've got that. You're taking that with you. Catherine, we've got to do a story now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, Biggers is gone. I'm hoping he's not been... someone's confused him for Biggie Smalls, and... you know, I'm hoping that's not happened.
Gosh, that'd be very...
I'm hoping Tupac isn't... So we've got to do the story now, have we?
No, let's do the Roxette now.
We won't have time to do the story if we do Roxette now.
All right, go on then.
Quick.
Hang on, I'm coming in.
More than half the people aged over 65 believe that someone's tried to con them. That's according to new research from Age UK. They found that a third of those who fell for a scam lost £1,000 or more. Catherine, what does the survey show? Nice to see you.
Well, Age UK asked over 65s whether they'd ever had a dodgy phone call, text, email or something through the post. 60% of those who had said that they hadn't bothered reporting it. Now, 12% of participants of all ages said that a friend or relative had lost money through a scam in the past 2 years. The report also highlights the tactics being used to target people. Sometimes they act as if they are befriending you or grooming you. There's a long run-up before they actually sting you for the money. And the other thing is that they tend to isolate people from their friends or family. So when the worst happens, they don't dare speak up.
Don't deviate from the script. What does Age UK want?
They want to raise awareness of this issue and also raise awareness about the effects of being a victim of scams. Full stop. These scams also have a serious impact on people's physical and mental health. It can also be more traumatic. Can I just talk like a normal person?
Yes, I know. Just don't freestyle. I was hoping we could squeeze Roxette in.
All right, well,
had you not deviated from the script, we would have. We can't now.
Yeah, we can. It's also more traumatic for older people. There are a number of reasons for this, including the rising number of older people living with dementia and the fact that more older people are going online. The internet opens up new possibilities for
My
fraud.
mother-in-law had a great one. And she's I say she's sensible, she's Greek, but she questioned me about it and said, it's a con. But it was someone who emailed her, and you wonder how they got this information. They emailed her, and they said, hi, the whatever her name is, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. This is Dave. I live on Wesley Street, which is just around the corner.
Knows, yeah.
Just around the corner. I live at number 2 Wesley Street. I'm stuck in Marbella.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And could you just send some money to this, and then when I get home, I'll pop round and drop. But how did he know her name, and how did he know where she lived?
People are buying and selling information.
Isn't that weird?
Aren't they? So, the advice to avoid being scammed: important not to rush into anything. If you feel under pressure, end the phone call and have a think about it. If you've been offered a great deal, double check with someone if it actually is. Often, if something's too good to be true, it is. They also want to get the message out, Age UK, to ignore unsolicited invitations such as letters, emails, or phone calls offering anything from a brilliant investment to telling you you've won the lottery.
So you've skipped that middle bit.
Yeah, because we're going to talk to her live later on. Sylvia's going to come on and tell us what happened to her.
Sylvia! Now, this is a song, and I had the 12-inch of this. Yeah, it was the same, but with a weird drum break in the middle.
Walking like a man, hitting like a hammer. She's a juvenile scam. Never was a quitter, tasted like a raindrop. She's got the look. Heavenly bound, 'cause heaven's got a number when she's spinning me around. Kissing is a color, a loving is a wild dog. She's got the look. 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 What in the world can make a brown-eyed girl turn blue? When everything I'll ever do, I do for you. And I go la 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 la. She's got the look. Naked to the bone as a lover's disguise. Banging on the head drum, shaking like a mad bull. She's got the look. Swaying through the band, moving like a hammer. She's a miracle man. Loving is the ocean, kissing is the wet sand. She's got the look. 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 What in the world can make a brown-eyed girl turn blue? When everything I'll ever do, I do for you. And I go la 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 la. She's got the look. she's a juvenile scam. Never was a quitter, tasting like a raindrop. She's got the look. And she goes,
That's a song.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M11 northbound, we're hearing reports that there's been an accident between junction 8 for Bishop Stortford and 9 for Saffron Walden. And Park Street and on the A405 North Orbital Road on the speed sensors, that's already looking very slow around the Park Street roundabout. And in High Wycombe, it's still quiet on the A404 Marlow Hill, but the temporary traffic lights could cause some delays this morning at the junction for Marlow Road. In Hitchin, also there's some roadworks on Cambridge Road at Walgrove Road. And on the trains, there's no reports of any delays at the moment, but at Luton Airport, the Frontier Traffic Control strike is still on site, could cause delays in and out of the station at the airport today. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. I don't know what that means, what you just said to me.
Those ones are brought back from America that end up going all grimy. I've ditched mine.
Gosh, thanks. 6:17. It's Thursday, the 9th of April. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. The Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they are willing to scrap it. And a jury in the USA will decide if the man found guilty of the Boston Marathon bombing will now face the death penalty.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, sorry, I just pressed the... Thank you.
Call
Thank you.
08459
Thank you.
455
Thank you.
555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Coming up, after 6:30, we'll be playing this. Sorry, not that. I meant this. That's what I meant. Sorry, excuse me. We'll be playing that. And Justin, you want to step into the arena, do you?
I do. I'm really enjoying this game, enjoying the vibe this week. A fresh new sound to your breakfast show.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
Yeah. Come on.
You want to step into the arena. You want to have a cockfight.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I do.
We can do that. We can certainly do that a little bit later on. Catherine, I've only allowed you to read Le Figaro and the Daily Express. I don't want any accusations of cheating.
Yeah. I'm really concerned about the rupture dans le Front National.
Crying out loud! Who cares about France? Oh. Not even the French care about it. Have you seen the state of it?
It is quite a thin paper,
isn't it? Just. And speaking of Justin Dealey.
Hi.
What are we going to be talking to you about in? We're talking about the charity fund that's been set up for that. He's a Watford fan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, we'll come to you about that. Let's have a little bit of Bobby V.
Oh, yes.
My tears are falling 'cause you've taken her away. And though it really hurts me so, there's something that I've gotta say. Take good care of my baby. Please don't ever make her blue. Just tell her that you thinking of her in everything you say and do. Take good care of my baby. Now don't you ever make her cry. Just let your love surround her. Ain't a rainbow all around her. Don't let her see a cloudy sky. Once upon a time, that little girl was mine. If I'd been true, I know she'd never be with you. So take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. And if you should discover that you don't really love her, just send my baby back home to me. Well, take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. And if you should discover that you don't really love her, just send my baby back home to me. Take good care of my baby. Well, take good care of my...
Sounds like good care is certainly being taken. Now, a Watford fan who was attacked after watching them play Wolves last month has been moved out of an intensive care unit. Nick Crewis from Hemel is now on in a high-dependency ward where he's able to walk with some assistance. So far, 7 teenagers have been arrested in relation to the attack in Wolverhampton. Justin, remind us what happened to Nick.
Shocking. Nick was attacked as he walked away from Molineux Wolves ground with his friends. That was on the 7th of March, having watched the game which finished 2-2. He's 44 years old. He's a milkman. He's from my town, Hemel Hempstead. He was assaulted on Little's Lane just after 5 p.m, which left him with serious head injuries. His wife Jodie said that he was punched and then repeatedly kicked in the head. Some of the newspapers at the time released some of the CCTV, which was absolutely horrible, but of course the police were trying to catch these people. He was then rushed to hospital for treatment. He was admitted to a specialist care ward where his condition was described as serious but stable.
OK, and his condition is improving?
Yeah, which is absolutely fantastic news. In a family statement released via Watford Football Club, it says that Nick has been moved out of an intensive care unit and into a high dependency ward, which is at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, where he's made some steady progress over the last week or so. The statement goes on to say it's fair to say that he's making the kind of progress which 4 weeks ago we could only have dreamt about, which is great to hear. Nick's wife Jodie has told us that he's saying a few words, but his understanding is limited. She also has told us that they're hoping to move him back into the area soon to Watford General in the next week or so, until there is a place for him at a specialist rehab centre. So really, really good news.
Aren't some people horrible? Aren't some people horrible?
Well, you know, as a football fan, this sort of thing stopped happening, I thought, back in the 1980s. The scenes that I saw on CCTV, utterly shocked by what I saw, and, you know, hopefully we can now put that behind us and move on.
There's been a massive amount of support, hasn't there?
There has, you know, from people right the way across the world. Again, in the statement it says that we have received messages from across the world. So many football fans, people of course who don't even know Nick, they wanted to send their love and their positive messages. And Ollie Floyd, he's going to be live on your show later. He's a young lad, he's a Wolves fan from Hemel, and he started this fundraising campaign in Nick's honour. So far, that's up to now, this morning I looked, £37,000,
Wowzers.
which is absolutely amazing.
The police have made some arrests, you said, but no charges so far.
Yeah, I mean, in the weeks following the attack, detectives in the West Midlands, they arrested 7 teenagers, and again, this is absolutely outrageous. Their ages, aged between 13 and 18. They were on suspicion of wounding the father of 2. All of these suspects have since been released on police bail, pending further inquiries, but Detective Tony Naylor, who is leading the inquiry, says that this is still very much ongoing, and if you did see what happened that day in Wolverhampton, they're still urging you to come forward and to talk to the police.
Dealey, stick around. We'll speak to you after 6:30. All right.
Great stuff, boss.
Cheers, my dears.
I told you why I changed my mind. I got more by playing with time. I know you thought you had me nailed. Well, I freed my head from your guardrails. Now it's a legal matter, baby. You got me on the run. It's a legal matter, baby. A legal matter from now on. My mind's lost in a household fog. Wedding gowns and catalogs, kitchen furnishings and houses, maternity clothes and baby's trousers. It's a legal matter, baby. Marrying's no fun. It's a legal matter, baby. A legal matter from now on. Told you why I changed my mind. I got bored by playing with time. I know you thought you had me nailed. Well, I freed my head from your guardrails. Now it's a legal matter, baby. You got me on the run. It's a legal matter, baby. A legal matter from now on. You ain't the first and you ain't the last. I gain and lose my women fast. I never wanna make them cry. I just get bored, don't ask me why. Just wanna keep doing all the dirty little things I do. Not work all day in an office just to bring my money back to you. Sorry, baby.
I like that song. No one plays that song.
Well, one guy does.
That's the Who. They released that as a single, and surprisingly, it went nowhere. I would pay top dollar to see Pete Townsend singing that live in concert. Was it maternity clothes and baby's trousers? You've got to love a bit of Shepherd's Bush. 08459 4 that's not a euphemism. That's where they're from. 08459. Hold on. 084. I'll stop.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's already looking quite busy on the North Orbital Road, but it's very slow for around the Park Street roundabout. In Hatfield on the Great North Road, there's roadworks at St Albans Road East, which could cause some delays. But looking at the motorways, there's no reports of any problems at the moment on the M25, and the M11 accident has cleared now between junction 8 for Bishop Stortford and 9 for Saffron Walden. On the trains, there's no reports of any problems at the moment, but the French air traffic control strike is still on, so that could cause delays and cancellations to flights in and out of Luton Airport today. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much. Coming up, as it's half term, we're continuing kids science after we had a text from Tony the other day, whose sister What did his sister make him do?
Eat a magnet to see if a spoon would stick to his stomach.
That's one of my favourite things I've ever heard. What kids' science have you done? And also, when have you lost an hour, a day? Hey, if we can find someone that lost an entire week, oh, it'd be wonderful. 81333, start your text 3CR, or you can give us a call, 08459 455 555. BBC Three Counties Radio. Let's get the news. Here's Simon.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
The headlines: more than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters, according to new figures from the charity Age UK. The Conservatives have accused Ed Miliband of being willing to put Britain's national security at risk by being prepared to barter away the Trident nuclear deterrent in negotiations with the SNP. Labour have described the claims as lies and smears, and a jury in the USA will decide if the man found guilty of the Boston Marathon bombings will now face the death penalty.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. Here's manager Brendan Rodgers.
We've had two poor performances. The team, everyone, we've all been criticised, and as I said, but that's part of football. Tonight we performed very well, I thought, and deserved to win the game, even though it was very tough. And congratulations to Blackburn, because they were a great opponent over the two games.
Watford captain Troy Deeney has been shortlisted for the Championship Player of the Month award for March. Deeney scored 5 goals in 5 games to help keep the Hornets on course for automatic promotion. Golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta, with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. McIlroy is sharing the spotlight with the returning Tiger Woods.
He was a hero of mine growing up. I did have posters of him on my wall. I did idolise him, really. You get a lot of the guys that are my age up here, and they'd say the same thing. He was a hero to us growing up. That's why I have so many guys, in their early 20s that are so good right now.
Former England cricket captain Michael Vaughan has told the BBC he would be interested in the ECB's new Director of Cricket role. Vaughan was speaking after Paul Downton left his post as Managing Director yesterday.
I think it's a deeper-rooted problem with the game where, structurally the game needs to change. In terms of one-day cricket, the culture around one-day cricket in England has to change. By removing Paul Downton, that's just not going to turn it around overnight. There's bigger, deeper problems than just one personnel, but it's inevitable with the winter which has just been and the performance levels of the England team. Someone was going to lose a position.
And in racing, the Grand National meeting starts today at Aintree. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 7.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Okay. Catherine has bought in... Are you charging it up?
Yeah.
We've both bought ourselves drones. My friend said, it's not a drone, it's a quadcopter. Well, quadcopter isn't even a word. So I bought one, and I've hacked myself to pieces. The thumb's healing up, but the ear and the neck and the face are still a little bit scarred. One's gone green. When the scar goes green, that's good, yeah? Okay. So you, as you often do, Catherine, you copied me.
Yeah.
Whoa, why don't you show me the birds?
I've slashed both birds.
She has. She actually has. You've copied me and the V's. Well done. That's very classy.
No, but I have. They're the ones that I've...
All right, mate. And you're going, it'd be dead easy to fly out, kid. You're such a... Because I was struggling. You're such an idiot. And I'm censoring the language here because it was, of course, very common and coarse. You're such an idiot. I'll fly and I'll...
No, I said I reckon I can crack it.
Well, and you've cracked it, but only because you kept smashing it into the wall.
Yeah, I've had to change the propellers.
You've put the safety harness on. Even I didn't put the safety harness on.
I was going through them like nobody's business.
Anyway, you've brought it in today.
Yes.
And it's charging up.
Yeah.
Takes a while to charge it, but 7:30. We're going to fly it in the studio.
Are we?
Yes, because I'm now wicked at flying drones.
Can I stand behind you and use you as a human shield?
Well, now you've taken your shoes off. You're so tiny you could fit in my bag.
It's like a flying blade.
The flying blade.
In fact, that's what I'm calling mine. You can't have that. You can call yours the...
I'm going to call it the drone because I don't need to give it... The drone. Named after you.
Oh.
You seen these drones, Just?
Yeah, I've heard about them. Go on, talk to me.
OK, well, I just kind of was just wrapping up.
Oh, OK.
No, we're 7:30. We're going to fly. We're going to get Kath's drone out and we're going to play with it.
OK. Can I be there for that?
Have a little wiggle on. You can see me wiggling on the joystick while I look at Kath's drone.
Yeah, get a video. Send it on to me.
Beautiful.
WhatsApp. Lovely stuff.
Beautiful, mate.
That's the beauty of it as well. It does have its own camera.
It's got a camera in it.
Wow.
Isn't it? Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah, good times, guys.
Fun times. Right. Who's ready for a little bit of No? Who's ready for a bit?
No one, but let's go.
Hang on, sorry. Hang on, Kelly has to add... Hang on, here we go.
From a newspaper beginning with the...
Where's the enthusiasm? I know you're poorly.
I forgot the line. What was the line?
Sponsored by...
Oh, that's it.
The line is you're fired.
Do it again.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Right.
Sponsored by a newspaper beginning with the...
Soon to be heard on the, not Adrian Mills, Scott Mills show. Scott Mills is Adrian Mills' son.
Who's Adrian Mills?
OK.
Oh, Scott Mills' dad.
That's show business for you. Right, here we go. I've got some great ones for you guys.
Go on.
Got 4 great ones. Let's start with this. You'll never get this. It doesn't even make sense. I'll give you that clue.
Good.
Page 7 of The Sun, if you want to play along. The mystery page, page 7. The mystery page, page 7. Harry on Cleo. Catherine, we'll start with you. Harry on Cleo.
Now, I know Prince Harry is in Australia at the moment.
Yeah.
Did someone play him a little bit of light jazz from the Buckinghamshire-based legend Cleo Lane?
No, there was no... Prince Harry did not get involved with jazz in Australia. We're going to go to you, Kelly Betts.
Harry Redknapp to star in the new Carry On film.
Oh!
And his car of choice is a Clio.
Oh, she is good. She's way off the mark, Justin.
OK. I'm going to go for Harry Styles on this one.
Yeah.
And very simply, I think he met a nice young lady in a club called Cleo.
Right.
And I think he took her back to the hotel room.
Harry on Cleo. If anybody can tell me what the Harry has got to do with it, then I would be... It's got nothing to do with the story.
Is it just so it sounds a bit like Carry On Cleo?
They might as well just put Carry On Cleo.
Yeah, go on then.
Moggy Cleopatra saved 5 people from a flat by waking them up in Yekaterinburg, Russia.
That's it?
Where are the flats? Harry Street or something?
No, that's it! Harry Street. That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
I don't think it is.
No, trust me. It really is. No, that's it. I guess she harried them... Is Harry a word?
Yeah, but, I mean, not one that people that read that newspaper would know.
OK, so that's 1-0 to me.
Oh, dear.
That's a good one, isn't it? OK.
I like that, yeah.
I mean, that sub, whoever came up with that wants to kick up the jacksy.
There we go. This is a good one. Here we go. This is a
I mean, they could put catastrophe averted.
Oh, this is a good one. Ear to eternity. Ear to eternity. Yeah. Now this one, I've got to be honest. Just tread carefully, guys.
Oh right, this is going to be about death. And
just tread carefully. Catherine's on the right trail.
I missed the headline.
Ear to eternity.
Is it
ear to eternity? Catherine.
Is it something to do with the remains of someone's ear pickled in jam jar?
It's even more tasteless than that. Dealey.
I reckon somebody has got a love of music. This is a music lover, OK? And their ear experienced lots of pleasure over the years, so their ear has been turned into a CD of their favourite songs.
Gosh, that's a futuristic format. Both of you, you're getting there. Kev?
Yeah.
Do you want to play...
Yeah, absolutely. But first I want to hear, what's the pronunciation of that Russian town?
Oh, for crying out loud. It's Yekaterinburg.
Oh, that's brilliant. I used to have a friend that worked in Yekaterinburg.
Yekaterinburg, you idiot.
No, I'm not an idiot. Yekaterinburg.
Yeah, because it's got Catherine in it. Catherine. Yekaterinburg.
Yekaterinburg.
It's Catherine'sburg.
Hang on, Kevin, have you just phoned up to pwn me?
Yes.
Hey?
Goodbye.
Kev was the one that rang up the other day and talked like that.
All right, Kev, go on then. You ear to eternity. You think you're Mr. Billy Big Boots. Go on, what does it mean?
Is it to do with the earworms, the most popular song that stick in your head that's been kept for future?
No. Why don't you ask your friend in your Katarina burger? Yeah? Well, you go and do that, Kevin. Kelly?
It's about an earwig that they found.
I'm going to stop you there.
Wait, no, I haven't finished. And it's got special powers.
Can I stop you there?
Not only is it giant...
I'm going to stop you there.
...and invisible...
Can I stop you there?
...but it lives forever.
There?
Right, you're thinking of the Wrath of Khan.
Ear to eternity. That's the Babel fish you're thinking of.
That was horrible, wasn't it?
David Terrazzano, 23... choked himself to death in his sleep with his earphones in Cesenalali, Italy. Did I pronounce that right, Kev?
I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. No.
Let me have a look, I'll tell you.
No. He
Don't,
choked
because
him.
I'm scared of doing that.
Well, don't have your headphones in.
Oh, but sometimes I need them.
What was the album?
I would say Chesney.
What was the album?
I would say that was Cesinali.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? If we were an Australian radio station, we'd now be getting people to text in suggestions of what the album or the song was he was listening to. But we're not. We got a little bit more class than those Australians. Right. Last one. All right. This last one, and this is my favourite. Okay. That was the chair.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Going for a hiss.
Oh.
Going for a hiss.
Oh, I know this.
Right, well... Justin Dealey gets to go first.
Okay, going for a hiss. Would this be a world record attempt? Okay, so for as many men you can get as possible.
As many men as you can get as possible.
Lined up in the urinals, going for a wee, and they're trying to break a world record for the sound, their hissing sound.
What?
You know.
Why?
I wonder what the world record is for the most number of men having a wee at the same time. Well, it's probably happening now.
Let's try and break it.
Okay.
Well, we've only got 2 men.
No, Justin, you are way off the mark. Kev, you still there?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm still here.
Okay, going for a hiss. What do you think the story is?
Australian caught out by a rattlesnake in the outback.
No, sir, it's not Kelly Betts.
I was going to say something along those lines. A man going for a wee, snake comes along, bites off his...
Wow.
Wow, you took that to a dark place.
That's...
You're in a
You know,
bad
some
mood.
snakes follow up the... I'm not in a bad mood. You know, some snakes follow up...
swallowed by a boa constrictor.
Are you, Kev? Do you need help?
Hey, I don't know about that. I'm just wondering if the guy was actually swallowed by a boa constrictor. But,
A boa constrictor?
Yeah.
A Boeing constrictor?
Yeah,
You
fine.
phoned me up to have a go at me for the pronunciation of a Russian town, and you're saying Boeing constrictor?
Well, have you ever seen snakes on a plane?
Oh, he clawed it back.
Catherine.
A woman went to the toilet and found an albino python draped along the... for some reason, she had a sort of fuzzy... Was it a bath mat or something on the...
Yeah, there's a bath mat on the radiator drying. We all do it.
And there's a massive white snake lying on it.
Hannah Marriott got a wee fright when she found a 6-foot snake on her bathroom radiator. Cops removed the northern pine snake from the 16-year-old's family home in Rochdale, Greater Manchester. Mum Karen said she can't even deal with spiders.
The police are a weird... They're weird. Would you call the police?
I wouldn't call the police weird, mate. That's Kelly Betts. That's not the official BBC line. Although, judging what's going on in America.
I would call that RSPCA. And do the dance.
Thanks for playing, Kev.
Yeah, no problem.
Yo. Justin, we'll speak to you in a little bit.
Yo.
Yo. Kelly, thanks for that.
Yo.
Hey, yo. Catherine?
Yeah.
Ah.
When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in and cry, say live and let die. Live and let die. Live and let die. Live and let die. used to say, live and let live. You know you did, you know you did, you know you did. But if this ever-changing world in which we live in makes you give in a cry, say live and let die.
Dedicate that to Chrissy, who loves the Paul McCartney and the Beatles tracks that we play.
She does.
She loves it. Chrissy will play... We might even play another Paul McCartney song for you after the news.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's looking busy on the M25 between junction 26 Waltham Abbey and 25 for Enfield in both directions, and anti-clockwise it's also slow from junction 21 for the M1 to junction 19 for Watford. Having a look at the speed sensors in Mill Hill on the A1 Watford Way, that's looking slow southbound from the Apex corner to Mill Hill Circus, and elsewhere in Dunstable on the High Street North, that's looking very busy around West Street. On the trains there's no reports of any delays at the moment, and the French Air Traffic Control strike is still on today, so that could cause some delays and cancellations to people flying in and out of Luton Airport to Europe. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm doing the radio, mate. You can't just keep chatting to me about legs of ham.
Why not?
Hams don't even have legs.
You want to see? Get one with a trotter.
No, don't. I'm doing the radio. Both times I've come to do the headlines, you've been talking absolute inane drivel. Are you really lonely at home or something? What's going on? Don't you see people?
Just like ham.
Oh, for 6:47, it's Thursday the 9th of April. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. The Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Got an itchy leg?
No. I'm just checking I've not got a hole in my tights.
OK. The Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they're willing to scrap it. And a jury in the USA will decide if the man found guilty of the Boston Marathon bombings will now face the death penalty. Let's get the weather. Here's Elizabeth.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. We've got some fog, some mist patches around, and some low cloud as well, mostly towards eastern areas of Hertfordshire. This will all lift and clear where we do have it. It will take a couple of hours perhaps, but we're going to be left with a lovely fine dry day, lots of blue skies and sunshine around, and some very high temperatures again for this time of year. Bit of fair weather cloud bubbling up here and there through the afternoon, but not enough to spot the sunshine. The winds are light, and we're probably looking at highs of around 17 or even 18 Celsius today, 64 in Fahrenheit towards some areas. So all in all, it's a pretty lovely day. And then overnight tonight, we're going to do the whole thing all over again. So clear skies, temperatures dropping away quite quickly. We'll probably see lows of perhaps 3 or 4 degrees Celsius in some of the rural spots. We could get a few mist patches again into tomorrow morning, but tomorrow another fine and dry day, and we'll see the temperatures peak. We could get as high as 19 or even 20 Celsius somewhere. It'll feel really lovely again, lots of blue skies and sunshine. A little bit of a blip over the course of the weekend. Now Saturday still looks like a pretty nice day, lots of sunshine around, highs of 16 Celsius. We'll probably see a bit more in the way of cloud on Sunday, and again slightly lower temperatures perhaps, but then into next week once more it's looking fine and dry, and temperatures are slowly going to climb up, and we're going to get lots more in the way of sunshine. That's the forecast.
Sometimes in life, things don't always go to plan.
It worked perfectly for 2.5, 3 years till 2 days ago.
He should refund me £1,900.
Which is where we come in.
We managed to get them to agree to come back in to the property on an agreed date.
The JVS show takes on your consumer problems.
I've basically lost the whole lot in administration charges.
And helps to get to the right solution.
I've received a cheque back for £578.
Jonathan, I can't thank you enough. I don't know how you do what you do, you and your team.
The JVS show, weekdays from 9, here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
You're right, what's surprised
Just
you?
seen this, a local story in the Sun.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Kids riding on a miniature railway were trapped under a carriage after a train derailed.
Oh!
Up to 3 youngsters, so between 1 and 3 youngsters, escaped with grazes as people rushed to lift the carriage off. So it doesn't sound like it was a massive incident. But
No,
if
but it's
anyone
those
was
little
there,
trains that you straddle.
One woman was taken to hospital with a head wound. Paramedic Daniel Reichman, 26, who was on the train with 10 members of his family, said there was a lot of screaming. This happened at Cassioberry Park in Watford. Train owner Jeff Price blamed it on one carriage having a faulty spring.
Aye. The kids love... There's 2 different times. This is probably the bigger one. There's the ones where you sort of straddle. And then
it's
there's
like
the
a
ones,
bench that you sit on.
Yeah. And then there's the ones that have kind of little carriages. It sounds like that was on the one... I don't know.
It sounds like a little...
I don't know. 08459 455 555 if you can be bothered.
If you're up.
If you can be bothered. Justin. Yes. If you can be bothered.
I thought for a second I was back at the Beatles musical. Let it be then.
I was doing Manchester, mate.
I know, but when you talk like that, you start to slip into Beatles.
Now, you started to slip into William Hague. Other politicians are available. He's not a politician anymore. We can say what you like.
Okay.
But speaking of politicians, we're not sure what to do with you today, Just. We've got 2 options. Catherine, you give your option, I'll give mine, and we'll let Dealey decide.
OK, a woman gave birth to her baby at... hang on, I've lost the thing because I thought you didn't want to do it.
Oh, I did not want to do it. I'm just being nice and kind. No.
A mum gave... nice and kind?
I'm being nice and kind.
A mum gave birth at a bus stop lay-by after her waters broke on a 20-mile trip to hospital. Sarah Doughty's hubby, I hate that word, Neil, I don't mind that, 40, in case you were wondering, and sister Rebecca, nice name, 35, had to deliver baby Charlotte as medics gave advice by phone. Sarah, who's 37, in case you were wondering, of Stafford, said it was a crazy experience, but Charlotte's doing really well. Welder Neil said Charlotte's delivery was one of the most surreal experiences of my life. So I thought, off the back of that, what was the last thing you had delivered?
Well, the thing is, it could be... Kelly loves that one. You like that one?
I just didn't expect it to go there.
No. You've said that before, eh? Guys?
Don't get it.
When did I say that before?
Sorry, what are you doing?
What actions are you doing, Ian?
You too.
I don't... What?
The thing is, the last thing I had delivered was a...
drone?
No, actually, it was some VHS tapes from America.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh.
Great story.
Thank you. But you
and
see...
the box was all bashed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was battered, but my box was battered.
Would it not be better to say... Would
yes.
it not be better to ask on the streets this morning?
Okay, just...
Okay,
it's going through the Dealey filter.
It's going through my filter. Did you deliver your baby on the streets?
No.
How many people are you going to find?
No. Do you know what? I'd find them. Somebody I went to school with, trust me, okay? Somebody I went to school with, their mum and dad were on the way to hospital, okay? And they were in a Jaguar, and they didn't make the hospital. They had the baby by the side of the A41, the child's middle name, Jaguar.
Oh, for crying... I tell you what, Dealey, if you find someone this morning that isn't your mate who delivered their baby on the street, I'll buy you breakfast.
But also, can I just say, I'm trying to do something a bit different, and, you know, that's what everyone else would do, but, you know, whatever.
Well, no, nobody will be stupid enough to go on the street and say, did you deliver your baby on the street? Because no one has.
I don't think that's been done, to be fair.
All right, well, okay, so Catherine, okay, well...
Because last thing you had delivered, we could get some funny stories.
But like what? Let's say, a letter and a gas bill.
I'll tell you what, shall I take that one to the streets and just see what people say?
Well, this is my one.
Yeah, go on.
Kath looks absolutely battered.
Well, I just think you don't see my vision.
You don't see your vision. You're blind as a bat, mate. Here's one. All it is, you're getting all these stories about politicians, okay, and it's all personal stories now.
Yeah.
So it's Justine Miliband's wife.
Mm-hmm. She is the wife.
Justine, Ed Miliband's wife,
If
Justine.
she's got a wife, then we have got a story.
Ed bandaged me up after I was bitten by a Doberman and I fell in love.
Oh.
How did you fall in love?
I married the man I used to walk back from the pub with. He used to buy me a butty at the service station.
There you go.
You fall in love.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Romantic.
It's an unusual one for you, I have to say.
It is romantic.
Yeah.
You see, that's what goes through my head.
When I had that dry ploughman's, I thought, this is the one.
Justin, you've got a whole array there, mate.
I have, to be fair.
You've got an array.
And I've actually got the radio car back. The branded
won't last.
Swagmobile is back. I'm on the streets this morning. White tennis trainers, camel chinos. Yes, a denim shirt and a trench coat. Look out for me.
Where are you going to go then? Because you don't need to stay in Luton now, do you?
Where shall I go, guys? You call that one.
Need to stay in Luton.
Kath, bit of bitterness there. Bit of bitterness. Calm down. So where shall I go?
Don't be proper. We've got to do the introducing
You want me to tell you where to go?
Well, yeah.
Right,
Kath, you be different. So come on.
Oh, right.
Tell us where I should go.
Guys, please.
I want to hear what the people on the streets of...
London say.
Snalbans. Okay.
Go Snalbans.
I'll go Snalbans.
Ta-ta. Kelly Betts.
Hello.
BBC Introducing.
Yeah.
Who we got?
This week, added to our playlist, courtesy of the Introducing show, is a chap called Nathan Ball. He's brilliant. He's
Does
from
he?
Stoke Mandeville. He does, yeah, sure.
The hospital or the town?
The town.
Good for him.
Yep. And this is his song called Howling.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
So you can press play.
Now? We're going to listen to it?
3, 2, 1, now.
Now?
Yeah, go on then.
I lost track as the west wind resides. I saw your eyes and I called this home. But it's not where I'm from. It's the place I belong when I feel alone.
Can we buy his 7-inch at our price?
Yeah, if you want.
Brilliant. But who do I ask for when I go up to the counter?
Say, hi, have you got any Nathan Ball 7-inch, please? And they'll say no, but you can check him out on soundcloud.com/Nathan Ball.
That means it's free.
Or Nathan Ball HQ on Twitter.
Oh! I'm not saying he's ripped it off, but it sounds like so. What's that?
If you had the mood tapes in the 1990s.
What is it?
We don't know.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's starting to look busier on the A1M southbound around junction 7 for Stevenage, and the M25 anti-clockwise is busy between junction 21 for the M1 and 19 for Watford. A bit further afield on the M25 anti-clockwise, there are queues between junction 26 for Waltham Abbey and 25 for Enfield because of, well, they don't know why yet, but possibly a breakdown. And on the Bricketwood North Orbital Road, that's looking quite slow around the M25 junction 21A roundabout. On the train departure boards, there are no delays reported at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Will you two stop doing it? I'm trying to do a blooming radio show and pay attention, and you're banging on about that blooming tin cup again, like you're not Michael Flatley. Who's the fella? Not Kevin Bacon. Who's the waterman? Oh, it doesn't matter.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Kevin Costner got his thingy out.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: over 65s targeted by fraudsters, election row over Trident, and woman's appeal to find missing horse.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters, according to new figures from the charity Age UK. It shows a third of older people who responded to a scam may have lost £1,000 or more. Sylvia Edwards from Luton handed over her account details to conmen, but contacted the bank before anything was stolen.
I'm absolutely petrified about, how I could have been taken in, because I'm quite an intelligent woman and I don't fall for scams like this. So I just was absolutely shocked to find that I'd been taken in.
The Conservatives are claiming that Labour would be willing to compromise on Britain's nuclear deterrent to win the SNP's backing to secure power. The Defence Secretary Michael Fallon has confirmed the Tories' policy to renew Trident, but says Ed Miliband would be willing to stab the United Kingdom in the back to become Prime Minister. Labour says the claim is totally fabricated, as the BBC's Ross Hawkins explains.
Labour are absolutely clear, speaking to them last night and this morning. They say we're not going to negotiate that. There's not going to be any sort of compromise. In reality, if what you're really worried about is whether we would have new nuclear weapons, in any parliament, the likelihood is the Conservatives and Labour together would support it. But it would make any formal deal between the SNP and Labour very difficult.
The man accused of carrying out the bombing of the Boston Marathon 2 years ago has been convicted of all the charges against him. A jury will now decide whether Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, who's 21, will face the death penalty. Firefighters from Bedfordshire have been called to a major blaze in neighbouring Cambridgeshire, which has closed the A11. 60 firefighters have been tackling the blaze at a straw processing plant. A woman was taken to hospital with burns after an aerosol can exploded in a bonfire in her Watford garden yesterday afternoon. The emergency services were called to Colne Avenue just after 3 o'clock. The woman in her 20s was taken to Watford General. A survey of GPs has found that 9 out of 10 family doctors are concerned that their workload is harming their ability to care for patients. More than 15,000 doctors responded to the poll, which was carried out by the British Medical Association. A Buckinghamshire woman has been left distraught after she loaned her horse out, only to discover it was then sold at auction for £200. Jade Walters from High Wycombe says she decided to loan the chestnut pony out when he got too expensive to keep. More from Tony Fisher.
Jade says she'd owned 17-year-old Magic for over 6 years, but advertised for a temporary owner as the cost of his upkeep became too great. But last week, when she wanted to bring him home, she found out he'd been auctioned without her knowledge. An appeal for his whereabouts has been shared over 60,000 times on social media.
In sport, Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. And golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta, with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. The weather, another fine and dry day, long spells of sunshine, a maximum temperature 18 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Kevin?
Iain.
What you got, fella?
That tune you were humming very badly.
Yes?
I think you'll find it's called Crockett's Theme.
Yes?
And it used to be in Miami Vice.
Yes?
And it's by a guy called Jan Hammer.
Do you mean this? Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What's it called?
I'm fairly certain it's called Crockett's.
Oh, do you mean this?
I do mean that. And it used to be on, was it a Lloyd's Bank advert?
Oh, that
I thought you were going to say Miami Vice.
I never saw Miami Vice. Was it any good?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Was it?
It was brilliant.
Don Johnson, wasn't it?
All I know about that is they used to roll his suit sleeves up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin, thank you for that.
No problem.
Excellent stuff. No, isn't
In many ways, he's Justin's inspiration.
But Kevin?
Don Johnson.
Isn't this... no, what... Oh, no, hang on a second. I know what I'm thinking of.
This is like hold music. We should keep this in case we get a caller on who we want to put on ice.
Hang on a minute. I know. I was thinking of... hang on a minute. Oh, dear. So boring. So I was going to say, isn't that the Marks and Spencer's music? But no, that's this.
It's not just any theme. It's a Marks and Spencer's theme.
This is one of the most boring songs of all time, isn't it?
Yeah, but they used a different one before that, a different boring song. Do you want me to get that one?
Yeah, why not? Let's play boring songs all morning. I mean... Oh, no, hang on, I've got to do this. Actually got to start the second hour. Morning, guys! So, a hodgepodge. Have you given birth to a baby on a street? What was the last thing you had delivered? Ed Miliband's wife fell in love with him after she got bitten by a Doberman and he bandaged her up. What romantic gesture made you fall in love? Kids science. Have you ever lost a day? Oh, and you know the score. Anything else you want to call in about? Hey, listen, if you're on half-term and you never called in a radio station and you want to phone up and tell us we're a load of boring farts, you're more than welcome to do that. How would you do it? On the telephone, you plums. That thing you hold in your hand all the time. Playing games on and Snapchatting and going on Friends Reunited. 08455...
And if Kelly's upstairs, can you come down, like, really fast?
Oh, blimey. Is there an emergency?
I just needed to do something.
Oh! She's making the cough, mate.
Well, I needed to do something a bit more.
08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
08459 455 555 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can, of course, email me any time you want. ian.lee@bbc.co.uk. I spell Ian the correct way. IAIN.LEE@bbc.co.uk. There's a great story in The Sun. Good Morning Britain interviewer, Richard Arnold. Now, which one's Richard Arnold? He's camper. He's the one that's camper than Ben Shepherd, isn't he? I think. He's the one that's camper. Good Morning Britain interviewer, Richard Arnold, has told how he once tried to high-five Stevie Wonder. Yeah, the blind fella. And he wondered why he was left hanging. ITV's Richard, 45, said, "We were getting on so well, and the most natural thing was to put my hand up for a high five." Oh. First of all, why would you ever try and high-five a celebrity? And why would you ever try and high-five Stevie Wonder, of all people? Of all people! 08459 455 555.
On FM, AM, online and digital radio.
This is Iain Lee.
On BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, more than half of people aged over 65 believe they've been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. Well, while not everyone responds to scams, the research suggests that a third of those who do may lose £1,000 or more. Let's speak to Phil Mulwiney from Age UK. Morning, Phil.
Good morning.
Phil, what has your survey found?
So Age UK did a survey recently and we found that of people 65 and over half of them who we were in contact with thought that they'd received some type of scam. So that could be a full range. That could be by the phone, doorstep, email, online, lots of different kinds of things.
And how easy can it be because we all like to think, oh, it will never happen to us, you know, but I guess if you're perhaps slightly older, you're a bit more trusting, aren't you?
Yeah, to an extent that's true. I think one of the important points is that anybody can become a victim of scam. People of all ages, we certainly know that in some cases people who are quite confident and who know a lot about money and feel, comfortable with that, they also become victims of scams. So it happens to people of all ages, but certainly for older people, especially if they're going through circumstances in their lives, like they live alone, they're lonely, maybe they have dementia, have been recently bereaved. There's different circumstances that can make people more at risk of being responding to a scam.
Give us kind of the top 2 scams, Phil, that people are falling for at the moment, so we know what to look out for.
Okay, well, I'll give you a couple of examples, and it's not necessarily that they're the most common, but for example, there's doorstep scams, so people during the day, and again, often it's targeting older people who live alone. That could be people coming to the door, offering goods or services at quite high rates, or it could be offering to do things in the garden, maintenance, building, and that work never gets done. So that's doorstep stuff. Then there's also telephone scams, and an example of this, which is particularly chilling, is when people phone somebody up and pretend to be from their bank, and they say that there's been a fraud alert. They ask for their security details and then end up transferring money out of that person's account. So that's a telephone one. And then one more example, there's a whole range of online scams. So for example, false websites, websites that look like maybe a government website, HMRC for example. We know of an example, somebody who actually lost money thinking they were doing their tax return through one of those websites. So there's a full range, and that's just a few examples.
And I guess the advice would be, Phil, don't, if someone's on the doorstep or on the phone, you don't have to give them a yes straight away. You can put the phone down, you can shut the door, and you can think about it and go and talk to other people.
Very much so, yeah. So we'd encourage people, if they're not sure, to go to the Age UK website, to phone our advice line. You can get an Avoiding Scams guide, which will have some useful tips like that. But certainly, don't feel time pressured. Anything that sounds too good to be true probably is. You can check whether a company is reputable or not by going to the Financial Conduct Authority. You can get advice through the Pensions Advisory Service or the Money Advice Service. We'd encourage people to talk to friends and family a little bit more. So there's definitely things that people can do, but we're actually calling on the government to take the whole issue of scams a bit more seriously and actually set up a national scams task force to try and give the issue a bit more priority and really tackle it.
Phil, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. That's Phil Mawhinney from Age UK. He says there that anybody could fall victim to a scam. I don't think I would, Catherine. I'd never fall victim to a scam.
Oh, I think you might.
Sorry?
I think you might.
Well, the scam I've fallen into is being conned into thinking that you were a producer.
Wow.
Yeah, I know the truth.
Where did that come from?
Because I've done some research on you. I got my little dick was out having a look at you.
Your private detective.
My private dick, dancing for money, following Catherine around. And let's just say my dick dug up some dirt on you.
All right, what do you know? What do you think you know?
I know that you're from up north.
Right, okay. Excellent powers of deduction.
Fact number 1, Your Honour. What do they call it in court? Artifacts. No, what do they call it?
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A, Your Honour.
Said the producer.
The lady is from up north. Yeah. I'm in a southern court in America in the 30s where you're allowed to smoke. Exhibit A, Your Honour, the lady is from up north. And I'm a cool jazz musician who's turned into a lawyer.
You sound like a tiny homosexual lawyer. What's he called, that fella? Not Tennessee Williams.
Oh, the Truman Capote.
Yeah.
I am Truman Capote. Private dick. And Your Honour. That's a great... guys, if anyone wants to do a TV series called Truman Capote Private Dick, I'm up for auditioning for the role. I'd do it on my knees. Oh, I put the boys were in their pyjamas the other day, and I put my slippers under their feet, and while they knelt down and they pulled their pyjama top down. It was hilarious. They didn't get the joke. I'm Truman Capote, Your Honour, Private Dick, and my first exhibit A is that the lady is from up north.
Yeah, and?
Exhibit B is... she flunked out of producer school
Not
2
true.
weeks into term. Where is your certificate? It is bogus.
Where is your Ev?
My Ev is that you've got no certificate.
I think you'll probably find some details online.
There are no details online because I Googled you. The only detail I found online is pictures of you as a younger lady with longer hair. And that's Exhibit C. She used to have longer hair. Your Honour, I rest my case. The case is closed. I'm Truman Capote. I'm off to write a book.
Can you hit travel, please?
Why? What's she done?
Oh, come on.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Slow on the A1M southbound around junction 7 for Stevenage, and it's also busy on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40. A bit further afield on the M25 anti-clockwise, there are queues between junction 26 for Waltham Abbey and 25 for Enfield. And in Dunstable, it's looking busy on High Street North around Church Street. It's also looking slow in Hitchin on Moormead Hill between Carter's Lane and Purton Road. Looking at the trade departure boards, there are no major delays showing up at the moment. But at Luton Airport, it's still the air traffic control strike in France, which could affect flights in and out of Luton Airport today to Europe. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 7:15. It's Thursday, the 9th of April. I'll be going to Luton Post Office probably about 9:30 this morning if you want to come along and see me. I'm not doing a sign-in or anything. I'm just buying an envelope and posting some stuff. But I'll be there and I'm happy to sign pictures and have selfies taken. £5 a shot. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. And the Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they are willing to scrap it.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
So, Boyle on the Bum, you were telling us... You didn't hear that, did you?
I heard that.
Oh, you were telling us... We were playing the Albatross by the Fleetwood Mac.
Yes.
As the Marks and Spencer music, and you were telling us about some other Fleetwood...
Different one, yeah. Do you remember the foodie ones where it said, take one smoked
food
salmon
porn.
bagel? What are you doing?
This?
Oh, that's the wrong
That's the wrong song, mate.
It's the wrong mix, mate.
It's the wrong song,
it's the
mate.
Wrong mix, mate. Hang on.
Come and buy your food at Marks and Spencer's. It's expensive but nice. Come and buy your food at Marks and Spencer's.
Oh,
it's
I've given you the
expensive
wrong mega mix.
No, mate, you muffed it up, mate. She muffed it up, Craig.
She has.
She is totally... Craig, tell her what a bad girl she is.
You're a really bad girl.
Oh.
Tell her how naughty she's been, Craig.
You've been really naughty.
Spank her, Craig.
No.
Oh, OK. Craig, what have you called in for, mate?
Mate, I want to tell you what I had delivered yesterday.
Oh, OK, so you've gone... It's OK.
Hang on a
Right,
minute,
ready?
so you're responding to my call, Craig?
I am indeed.
There we go.
All right, that's why I can see why I didn't want to spank her. OK, Craig. What did you have delivered yesterday?
OK, yesterday I had 200 rat boxes.
What?
And some poison delivered.
I told you there'd be stories. I told you they would be stories.
Yeah, but Craig's a psychopath.
I think he's an exterminator.
I think I am. I'm a pest controller in Aylesbury.
Hey, big up all the pest controllers. Let's be honest.
Big 'em up.
You guys are the unsung heroes of pest control. No, you are the sung heroes of pest control. How do you do your job, Craig?
Well, we're the 4th emergency service.
Oh, no, you're not. That's the lifeboats.
No, it's not. It's us. We come before lifeboats.
Well, blimey. Because the AA used to bill themselves as that, and the lifeboats got hacked off with them.
Yeah,
But to be honest, when was the last time you called out a lifeboat? Really? I mean,
I know.
really?
Well, I live in Aylesbury. It's not much cool.
Yeah, exactly. Although I used to like those machines you get where it was a boat on a ramp.
And you put your money in.
Yes.
And the boat would go down the ramp.
Yeah.
It's like the boy with calipers, but it did stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, but they weren't big enough to ride.
Catherine used to ride the boy with calipers.
No, I asked to. I thought he was a ride.
Okay. What's the grossest thing you've ever had to capture?
The grossest thing. I still think the worst thing that we still deal with is bed bugs. Bed bugs. They suck your blood. They live in is it right? They live in the mattress and the legs of the bed. Yeah, if you've got wooden beds, things like that, they'll also live behind torn pieces of paper on the wall, light sockets.
Right. Do people know they've got them? How do you know you've got them? Because I think we've all got them to a certain extent, haven't we?
A lot of people say that they have bed bugs when they're, little things, and what they're getting confused with is dust mites. Now, that is nowhere near bed bugs. Bed bugs are ferocious little biters, and they will feed on you whenever they are hungry. And you have big bite marks, normally, because it's an irritant. Once you knock it, it becomes an irritant, and they look absolutely awful. They come up big red marks and not very nice.
And what does a bed bug look like? A beetle?
Yeah, kind of like a beetle. It's a very flat, orangey red colour.
And you know why they're red, don't you?
Yeah, you do, because when they fed on you, they go darker.
It's your blood.
Absolutely.
It's your blood. Same as flamingos. That's why they're pink. It's because they suck loads. They kind of peck at you when you're asleep, and they suck all your blood out.
No.
Yeah. Ever caught a flamingo, Craig?
I have, 2.
Good. Snap their necks.
Yeah.
How do you catch bed bugs then? How do you do?
Okay, bed bugs is a really... You have to be so detailed in what you do.
Yeah.
You have to search everywhere. You have to find the source of the problem. You have to treat it or remove it. And then what we do... We normally now... Most of the treatments that we do are heat treatments. So, if, for instance, your clothes, we always recommend put them in the dryer, run your dryer for 20 minutes, and that should do the job. And when we'll lay down some insecticide on what we call a blanket spray, so we'll treat everywhere, and that will do it.
It sounds less. No, it sounds more horrific with the music in the background.
It does. It does. I think you should have had Norman Bates from the hotel scene.
Yeah, that's what we should. From the hotel? Do you mean the movie Psycho?
Yes.
Craig, just remind us what you had delivered yesterday, please.
I had 200 rat boxes and some poison.
Good lad. Thank you, Craig. Fair play. That was a good call.
Told you. Meanwhile, has anyone given birth on the street?
I don't know what you're...
Somebody actually has called in with where they were born.
Interesting story, I bet.
It is, actually.
I wonder what they remember about it.
Listen, Catherine, I don't know why are you so angry just because someone was born? Don't be angry don't be angry because of love.
I just think that my phone-in is a bit different and it's more inclusive.
Well, it's more... Well, no, but you're lucky with Craig. Ultimately, it's more dullish than...
Listen, write down the rat boxes.
Yeah.
Write down the poison.
I'm not going to write it down. Have we had anybody who's lost a day yet? That was mine. That's a good one.
I feel like I lost about an hour and 20 minutes.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
If you've bought a horse recently, well, my next guest, Jade, is hoping that it might be hers. Jade Walters from High Wycombe launched a social media search for her animal. The story's been shared about 1 million times, but there's still no sign of Magic the pony. Jade joins me now. Morning, Jade.
Good morning.
For those who might have missed it, tell us what happened.
Magic went on loan about 7 months ago to a family down in Tiverton, Devon. We then had a conversation with her regarding that she couldn't keep him anymore. So as she's part of a big pony club group, there's going to be lots of people that are going to want to loan ponies like him. So we said, have a look in the area. If anybody comes up to you and is interested in Magic, give us a call. We'll come down or arrange, meetings or something.
So pony sharing is a thing, is it? Because I'd not heard of this before.
Yeah, I've never done it before. I'm never going to do it again.
Oh, no.
But yeah, after that, that was in January. 10 days later, he was sold through an auction on the 10th of February without us knowing, but I've only just found out.
So how did you find out, Jade?
We were constantly ringing her. Her mobile phone just kept going to answer phone. It never rang. And then eventually it started ringing so we could leave messages.
Yeah.
But no no answer, and then I eventually received a text last week.
Saying we've sold magic.
Yeah, saying that she didn't want any confrontation, that she has sold magic to auction.
Didn't want any confrontation. Sorry, go on.
And then the funniest part was, she said that she'll send me the receipt.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's all right then, isn't it?
It is.
Now, Jade, why hadn't you gone down to visit Magic?
We're going down tomorrow.
Okay. But why? Because some people might ask, if Magic was such an important part of your life, why had you left it so long to go and visit?
Well, we weren't actually going down to visit him over the loan period, because when you loan horses, you don't really have much to do with it. You know, we're always there at the end of the phone.
Yeah.
Because we're very genuine people. Some people just give it to loan and that's it. They're not interested. But
so it's not like a pet dog or my pet cat. If my pet cat went away for a few months, I would be very upset and would want to go and see her and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the same for ponies then.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, when he first went down, we used to stay in contact a lot because we're about 400 miles away.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take an hour to get there and come back again. But we used to always stay in contact. And then she obviously lost contact. And we then arranged to go down over the winter. But she just said not to worry. But we've had a lot of stuff going on. I work in a care home, so it's very difficult for me to walk away from my work.
Jade, so you've got contact details for this person, have you?
I do.
And it's a legit? Is her business still going?
I don't know whether it's her business. There's a massive race yard down in Tiverton, Wellington, I believe, and they're well-known people in the racehorse world that she's related to.
Okay.
Which is what I found rather strange, because surely if she's got big connections like that, I don't understand why she couldn't afford Magic's keep.
So, you've got her phone, and her phone number still works?
It sure does.
And do you know if she's on, like, Facebook and things?
I've had a look. I can't find her.
Okay. Have you got an email for her?
Not handy.
No, I tell you, but do you have one, on a bit of paper or something?
No.
I tell you what I'm thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Catherine, I don't know if you think this is a good idea, and we've not spoken to Jonathan, so I don't know.
I just messaged him and I said it sounds like a job for Jonathan.
Jonathan Vernon Smith, who's on after us, 9 till 12, he's all right.
Okay.
He's all right. But between 11 and 12, he does a brilliant, one of my favourite bits of radio, there's this thing called the Consumer Hour, where he kind of helps people like you. And I just wonder if... I'm speaking off the top of my head because he may not be interested, but I just think he's the kind of person who, if he were to speak to this woman, would be very good. If anyone can get answers out of her, he probably could.
Not only would he be able to speak to this woman, but I'm thinking if he could find out where the auction was, they would be able to trace the person that bought it.
Well, we have had a report since last night, actually, regarding Magic's location after auction. But we are obviously working alongside the police because obviously we have to go down to identify him.
Okay, but so you think you know where Magic is?
We still think he's based in Devon.
Okay.
But we go down tomorrow evening to go and identify because... You know, he's very distinctive looking, but you never know.
In that case, if the police are involved, let's hold off the Jonathan thing for a few days at least.
Yeah, okay.
And let's see. So you're going down tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow evening after
Could
work.
we speak to you on Monday?
Of course you can.
To find out what's going on?
Yeah,
because it would be wonderful to get you back in connection with Magic, whatever the way that is. Now, if the police have found him, then that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
If not, then maybe we could speak to Jonathan and see if there's anything he could do.
That would be lovely.
Catherine, any thoughts?
OK, well, here's the plan then. We give you a call same time on Monday, so we'll give you a call about 20 past 7.
I do hope it's your pony.
Yeah.
I do too. I can't wait to see him.
How will you know? Again, I don't know a lot about horses and ponies and things. Are they very distinct? Has he got distinct markings?
He does. He's bright chestnut and he's got a lovely white face. But on the top of the white bit of his face, it actually looks like a horse's head.
Oh.
And then a line
his head looks like a head?
His head looks like a head, yes.
Okay. Well, he's got a marking that looks like a head.
He does, like a horse's head,
Right.
and then he's got, on his left front leg, he's got a little bit of white just at the bottom of his foot. So, but I know him anyway. I mean, we've had him nearly 7 years, and he never forgets me, so...
Jade, I really... We're going to keep our fingers crossed for you.
Thank you.
And we'll speak on Monday, and hopefully we won't need to push this any further. But,
No.
but let us know.
Lovely, of course I will.
Good luck, Jade.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Ta-ta. Oh, well, that would go. Fingers crossed. OK, well, there are options there, aren't there? Fingers crossed. So let's hopefully on Monday she'll speak to us and she'll go, yeah, we've got magic, it's fine, it's all sorted.
I just think, right, we do it this time on Monday because then the same people will be listening. Jonathan will be in. We can have a conversation with him in the meantime.
Yeah, there we go. Kelly, was that you putting on a voice?
I'm not in a bad mood.
It really sounded like you.
It did, didn't it?
The only reason I knew it wasn't is because you've got a bit of a cold at the moment. You're a bit bunged up, and she wasn't, that young lady.
Yeah.
Not funny.
When she answered, I thought it was me.
Actually, we keep her number.
Yeah.
Next time Kelly's off sick.
We'll get Jade in.
Get her in.
We'll get Jade in. Thank you for that, Jade.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Dunstable on High Street North, that's looking quite busy at Church Street, and in Hitchin on Moormead Hill, that's looking very slow between Carter's Lane and Rotten Road West. On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's quite busy between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40, and also a bit further afield on the M25 anti-clockwise, there are delays between junction 26 Waltham Abbey and 25 for Enfield because of an accident. Having a look at the cameras in the M40 and the A1M are looking particularly foggy, so that could cause some visibility problems. No reports of any delays on the trains, but at Luton Airport they are being affected by the French air traffic control strike, which could cause some delays and cancellations to flights across Europe today. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. David Cameron has hailed Whitbread's plans for 6,000 new places. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters, according to new figures from the charity Age UK. And the Conservatives are claiming that Labour would be willing to compromise on Britain's nuclear deterrent to win the SNP's backing to secure power. Labour says the claim over Trident is totally fabricated.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. Here's manager Brendan Rodgers.
Very, very important for us. On the back of playing so well for 3 odd months and then letting our standards drop in 2 important games, it was very important for us to reach the semi-final tonight. But you got to give immense credit to the players, coming to here, difficult game against a very good opponent. I thought overall, as I said, the players were outstanding.
Watford captain Troy Deeney has been shortlisted for the Championship Player of the Month award for March. Deeney scored 5 goals in 5 games to help keep the Hornets on course for automatic promotion. Golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. More from Ian Carter.
It's 263 days since McIlroy won the Open. Ever since, he's known that today he'd be embarking on his quest for golfing history. Only Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Ben Hogan and Gene Sarazen have won all 4 of the major titles that define golfing careers. He's also going for 3 majors in a row, something no European has managed before. For it to happen, McIlroy must take advantage of a rain-softened course and fend off challenges from a host of highly ranked and in-form rivals.
Former England cricket captain Michael Vaughan has told the BBC he would be interested in the ECB's new Director of Cricket role. Paul Downton left his post as Managing Director yesterday. And in racing, the Grand National meeting starts today at Aintree. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop, I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
Oh, Justin Dealey.
Geezer?
Go on, Catherine, you have a go. I've got it working, Justin.
What's working?
Mind the wall. Oh, you broke it. The propeller came off.
Oh, the drones.
You broke the prop, mate.
Oh,
have you got your spares with you?
Yeah.
We got the drone working.
Fantastic.
I say we got the drone working, Justin.
I don't think I've got any white one.
It was this guy. It was this
man's
guy.
job.
You need to be the same colour so you know what's front and back, mate.
I know. I think I've only got black ones.
Good morning, Peter.
Good morning, Iain. Peace be with you,
We've
brother.
not heard from you from ages. If I'll be honest, I thought you were a goner.
No.
No?
There's more life in me than, you'd never bet.
Then you'd never bet. Well, yeah, good for you. What have you got for us, Peter?
Where I was born,
Yes.
I was actually born in a field with cows as an audience.
Sorry?
I was born in a field with cows as an audience.
I was born in a field with cows as an audience. How did that happen, Peter?
Well, apparently my mother was being repatriated from the north of England, got as far as Belper in Derbyshire, and
Derbyshire, surely?
Yeah. And of course, everybody had to be evacuated from the charabanc or whatever she was in.
Yes.
Piled into the nearest field. A nice sunny day, you see, in August, and there I was.
Out you
born.
popped.
Out I popped. I was the second one, you see, so it was easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The second one just slides out, doesn't it, Kath?
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah. No, you can't. I don't know why they whinge about the second one. It just pops out. It's all been loosened.
To be honest, I was better at doing the second one.
Yeah. Peter, excellent. Is everything all right in your world, Peter?
It is. Yes,
Good lad. Nice to hear your voice again. Thank you, Peter. There you go. See, just.
Top man.
Top band. You sound good quality today, mate.
Well, I'm live in St Albans, working in the Swagmobile, which has been repaired, the branded vehicle, working on a 2-second delay. But boss, doing my best here, live in St Albans.
I forgot. You sound good, but there's a 2-second delay, which the BBC think is acceptable for having intimate banter.
Don't worry.
There's a good.
He's good, isn't he? He's good at covering it up.
Well, you can't throw to him because he's got to wait for the pause.
No, that's fine. It's fine. I can handle it.
Close to an encounter. We'll discover alien life within the next 20 years, claims NASA chief. Ooh.
Well, promises.
The human race is on the brink. Oh, this is exciting, Justin.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Why 20 years? I went to a house in St Albans about 2 years ago, and a man claimed there was an alien on his driveway. Why 20 years?
Wasn't that alien invisible?
Yes, but he claimed he was standing next to me.
Wasn't he the fella who dug up his back garden to, like, make alien markings so they'd come and land with him?
Yeah, that's the one, yep.
Okay.
And his wife was in the house rolling her eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Well, the human race is on the brink of finding aliens that we can see, says NASA experts.
Oh, look, I broke it.
Look. You pop that in.
There.
But you've broken the wing. Have you done that? Take this thing off. That just gets in the way. I'm talking about her dress, of course. I'm joking!
Talk about my drone.
The US Space Agency's chief scientist said efforts to search for habitable worlds meant it was only a matter of time before extraterrestrials found. Ellen Stofan said, Ellen Stofan is the chief scientist, and it's a lady. It's brilliant. Well done, girls. Said, I believe we'll have strong indications of life beyond Earth in the next decade.
I bet she didn't talk like
and
that.
Definitive evidence in the next 10 to 20 years. It will be quicker. I've just got to do the ironing.
Wow.
It will be quicker. I've got a mountain of washing up to do. I made myself laugh. There.
Enjoyed that.
It will be quicker, but I've got to do that over him. We know where and how to look.
Stop it.
In most cases, we have the technology. So I think we're definitely on the road. I've just got to load up the dishwasher. Oh.
Funny guy.
Very funny guy. Me funny guy. Me funny guy.
You keep chit-chatting with your mate while I fix this aeroplane.
Which I taught you how to fly.
Well...
how's Solburn's looking, mate?
Yeah, it's looking fine. We're here, of course, with the big phone of the day.
Yeah.
What was the last thing you had delivered? Which is, it's going well.
Don't diss it, because I've had to already had to bring Kath off the ceiling. She was clinging onto the ceiling like a lunatic.
No.
And I had to massage the ego, stroke the id. And and you don't know what I had to do to the rest of her. She's calmed down now. It's a great Vox.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're getting some great feedback on it.
Yeah, great feedback. I've had people saying that that they had a bill delivered which they couldn't afford to pay.
I
That
don't
one
believe
came
you've
in.
spoken to anyone. I think you've only just got there. And you've had a cough and a growler.
Not true. Jacqueline, actually. Jacqueline, who works in Marks and Spencer's, she had something delivered this morning from China.
Yeah.
It was a £1 delivery. That was a green nose trimmer.
From China?
That's what's coming so far.
They're good to China. This is a good one. Look, Richard has tweeted, phone-in idea, what have you seen that looks like a bum? Here's an airship to kick it off. And then you click on this picture. There's a story about an airship. Airships are coming back in.
That's the one that's at Cardington, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
It is, yeah.
It looks like a bum.
It does. It reminds me of Kim Kardashian.
It looks like a bum.
So
I'll throw it out there. What have you seen that looks like a bum? 08459 455 555.
Peach.
Yeah? Peach is a nice one. I like that. Justin, we'll speak to you later.
I'm outside Clinton's, guys, so come and see me. What was the last thing you had delivered? I'm outside Clinton's in St Albans.
Thank you very much indeed. When you finish playing with your toy, do you fancy doing a little bit of work?
Yeah, pass me the papers.
Do you want to have a little look at the old... I've got some good news, guys. Got some good news.
Go on.
I've got some really, really, really good news.
Tell me it.
Do you know who's asking for?
No.
Any idea who's asking for? My old mucker. Idris Elba.
Oh.
My nemesis.
When you say good news, it's generally... If it's Idris Elba, I take it he's had some bad news.
Says Idris Elba. As he gets dropped by his record company for doing a rubbish record. Idris, what did you say? Idris Elba's musical career hasn't got off to the best start, as the actor has been dropped by his label. Because he released
compilation.
He released an album of songs that he'd written and recorded.
Oh.
Inspired by playing Nelson Mandela in that film.
He was very good in that.
Idris said his previous album, prompted by his portrayal of Nelson Mandela, was not commercial enough for the label.
Oh.
That's fair enough, he adds. Well, yeah, it wasn't commercial enough because it wasn't good enough. And he was planning to write, and he writes and he sings and he gets other people. He was planning to do an album on Luther.
Yeah.
Luther.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's been dropped by his record company. So Idris Elba says... Help! Dudley Collin.
Pardon? Help! 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 Help!
Help.
Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka.
Pardon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Do you mind if I talk?
Away you go, Colin. We've not stopped you.
How can we help you?
You can help me, Catherine. You can always help me.
Oh, dear. We have to always above the waist, please.
Well, he's very tiny.
Yeah, I am. I can only see your ankles.
Hey, right, get to the point, you mucky pup.
Right. What I've had delivered in the last week or so, I've had...
Here we go.
I've had a cordless drill screwdriver.
Oh.
How many bits?
About 20, I think.
Oh, flashy.
I've had some curry powder, medium madras.
What, you couldn't obtain it in a shop?
Not 200 odd
You're listening to BBC Local Radio.
Well, he's using quantities.
Hey, you asked, Lee.
I didn't, Dunstable. Boyle did.
Carry on, I'm still interested.
Yeah, so there was the curry powder, smoked paprika, and hot chili powder.
Spicy Colin in Dunstable.
So
I'm staying out of this, Catherine. It's your phone in.
That's what I've had delivered.
Excellent, thank you very much indeed. What I deduce from that is that you're a spicy man. You're also a practical man. I can't believe you're still single, Colin. How long's it been?
57 years.
So if anyone fancies a spicy practical man, we've got one in Dunstable for you. He's not very tall.
That's true.
But what there is of him...
It's hot stuff.
Small but perfectly formed.
You reckon?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
There are delays on the M25 anti-clockwise between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40, and on the A1M southbound that's looking very busy too through junction 7 for Stevenage. A bit further afield on the M1 northbound there are delays between junction 15A for Northampton services and 15 for the A45 because of an accident earlier, and on the A1 southbound that's starting to look very slow from the St Neots junction towards the Black Cat roundabout. On the train departure boards, the 8:30 service from High Wycombe to London Marylebone has been cancelled, and at Luton Airport today expect some possible delays and cancellations and disruptions to flights because of an airstrike in France. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 7:45, Thursday the 9th of April. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Do not take that thing off while I'm doing the news. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at the Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. Do not fly that while I'm doing the flipping news, mate. For goodness sakes.
You finished?
You've got to tuck that in as well, otherwise it'll drag. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. And the Conservatives have confirmed their... Do not fly it!
I'm not going to do it till you've finished.
Confirm their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they are willing to scrap it as part of a deal with the SNP. Oh, you can fly it now.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's going to be a fine and a dry day once more. We do have some mist, some murk, some low cloud around a little bit towards parts of Hertfordshire at the moment, but that will get burnt back by the sunshine. All in all, it's looking like a pretty nice day. Bit of fair weather cloud bubbling up here and there through the afternoon. Temperatures at the moment on the chilly side. You want your coat as soon as you step outside the door, I think 3-4 degrees, but they'll gradually rise to something more like 17 or 18 Celsius by the time we get to the afternoon. Some spots could even get as far as 19, which would be 66 in Fahrenheit. Just very light winds, very pleasant indeed in the sunshine. Overnight tonight, same thing all over again. Temperatures dropping perhaps just low enough to get a few mist patches into tomorrow morning. Sort of 3 or 4 degrees really typically overnight tonight. And then for tomorrow the temperatures are going to peak. We could get as high as 19, 20 degrees somewhere. Some spots even getting as high as 21. It's going to be a really lovely day again tomorrow. Lots of sunshine around, blue skies, but temperatures will take a bit of a dip at the weekend, say a bit of a dip. It's not going to be that dramatic. We do have some slightly cooler air pushing in from the west, so we're probably looking at more like 14s or 15s on Saturday, and again on Sunday. There will be a bit more in the way of cloud as well, particularly on Sunday, but then high pressure building again into next week. It's still looking fine and dry. That's the forecast.
Hi, I'm Chris Martin from Coldplay. My favourite BBC programmes growing up were Blue Peter, Neighbours, Twice a Day sometimes, all of the nature stuff, all the David Attenborough stuff, Fawlty Towers, The Day Today, Alan Partridge. I mean, how long have you got?
If you love something, let it show. Go to bbc.co.uk/love to show your love.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
We'll have to do it after the show, mate. You've broken it again.
It's all right.
You've broken it again.
I'll fix it.
These drones, they're not far to fly.
They hurt when you
Well, they do.
they hit you, and it really hurts. They're not for children, which is why they have to be in the hands of a trained expert.
There we go. That's me. It's going to connect. I'm going to do that. Go on, do a story from the paper.
All right, here's a story from the papers. Hey, Barry Manilow. Did anyone else know he was gay? Who'd have thunk it?
He was married to a woman a long time ago.
Exactly. Mind you, so was Elton John. Barry Manilow has married his manager, Gary Keefe. Barry and Gary.
Good for him.
Oh.
Yeah, it's broken, mate. Broken.
Oh.
You broke it?
You know what's happened?
What?
We need to recalibrate it because I took the guard off.
Oh, you're such a plummeter.
Barry Manilow has married his manager, Gary Keefe. It emerged last night. 30 guests invited to lunch found themselves at a wedding for the pair.
Oh, good for him. I like Barry Manilow.
I do too.
Good for him.
At the Singers' Pad last year, a pal said Gary, 66, and Barry have been committed to each other for a long time. The pal added they have a great relationship. Copacabana star Barry, 71, of Palm Beach, California, just in case there was
it's
another Barry Manilow that you want to confuse him with, has never publicly discussed his sexuality, but in 2012 claimed to be happily single.
If only more senior pop stars would be so bold.
Just come out.
Just come out. It doesn't matter. Who cares anymore, really? Who cares anymore? There's a gentleman here. Now, it's a good film and stuff. This is like Laura, who works on Jonathan's show.
Go on.
Bit nuts. Do you know what I mean? A bit nuts.
Yeah.
My 102... She could probably beat this.
She probably could.
My 102 days viewing Back to the Future.
And that is her film as well.
That is her film, totally. Film fanatic Matthew Harrison has seen the Back to the Future trilogy. Oh, all three of them an incredible 1,300 times. Matthew, 27, has spent the equivalent of 102 days watching the series since he became hooked aged 5. He even has tattoos of Michael J. Fox's character, Marty McFly, and the film's DeLorean time machine. His favourite in the trilogy is the second instalment, Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah.
It actually says that. His favourite in the trilogy is the second instalment.
What's it called?
Back to the Future Part 2. Which he's seen 600 times. That is the best one.
Yeah.
3 is rubbish. Cowboys are rubbish.
I could see what they were trying to do with 3, but I just think it was a bit too much. I thought it was fun with the second one that you had, like, video phones.
Yeah,
Can you remember when that was the future?
Yeah. It was Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2.
Matthew, a TV and film student from South Sea Hants, says, I never get tired of watching them. I see something new in the films every time. I find any excuse to watch the films, and I also introduce them to my friends. Hey, guys, do you want to come round my house? No, we're busy. Oh, go on, I was going to put Back to the Future on, the second one. It's called Back to the Future Part 2. No, we're busy. His £3,000... Here we go, Laura. You'll want to go... Portsmouth. Put Portsmouth in the diary. His £3,000 collection of Back to the Future memorabilia is to go on display at Portsmouth City Museum.
She should get her time machine, set it to before she was married and had children, and go and find this guy.
Now you're being flippant. Now you're being flippant, and I think that's inappropriate.
Well, these two like sound
I would love... When is a museum going to ask me to display my my monkeys collection? Guys, when is a museum going to ask me to display? Obviously, I want insurance, particularly after the excitement created by the jewel thieves.
Yeah. Kelly, is anyone ringing? Any museums?
There must be a museum that wants me to display my monkey. I've got some brilliant stuff. I've got the Gretsch 1967 Country Gentleman guitar.
And there are all kinds of museums out there. I mean, there's a pencil...
Cost me $2,000.
Pencil museum.
I'm getting delivered this week the mono edition, original mono American release of The Birds, the Bees and the Monkeys. $600 that cost me.
Oh.
Don't tell my wife. Seriously, don't tell my wife. She would actually go nuts.
And you're taking the mickey out of this guy?
No, I'm not taking the mickey out of him. I'm saluting him. But I'm saying he's a lightweight.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's a lightweight, is what I'm saying. So, just to clarify, in reverse order, number 3, Back to the Future 3. Number 2, Back to the Future. Number 1, Back to the Future Part 2. That's the second one in the trilogy. Catherine, what have you got?
Good one. Sun columnist Katie is in talks to have her own chapter.
Why are you doing this?
Because I don't like her.
But no, why are you doing this? Because you're feeding her machine.
Because from now on I'm going to call her Thingy.
But you're feeding. Now, I've spoken to Katie Hopkins several times. Actually, she's a really nice woman.
Yeah, but it's all a trick. It's all a game.
It's pantomime villain.
She goes. What she does is, she has a look and sees what's trending.
Yeah.
And then she says something mean about it.
Yeah, pantomime villain. She's like when I nearly said that bird. Apologies. When that woman from the 3 Degrees was in that pantomime that I saw at Christmas, we all booed her. Oh, I like the 3 Degrees. I like some good hits. When will I see you again? And all of that stuff.
But she was vile to Snow White.
Yeah, but she was, she was the pantomime villain, and we all booed her. Actually, she looks good, she sings good, and she's got a cracking body. Why would I boo that? Showbiz. That's why.
Anyway,
I'm going to boo Kelly. Boo, boo.
Thanks, mate.
You're welcome. And actually, it was actually a deserved boo. That's something she did last week. Sorry, I was a bit late on the booing there.
No, I quite like being booed.
Thank you, mate.
Pressure.
Anyway, Thingy's getting a TV show.
Don't even feed the machine. Don't put your penny in her slot. Why would you put your penny in her slot?
Said
It's a pantomime villain. Let her get on with it.
TV
and every time someone on Twitter goes, Katie Hopkins said this about depression. Katie Hopkins has said this about dementia. Who cares what she says? You know, I go back to the analogy of the bird from the 3 Degrees, Prince Charles's favourite group. Who knows what happened in the 70s to them? We just don't know. We won't know for another 50 years until the court records are released. She didn't really want to kill that Beauty and the Beast. She didn't really want to. Yeah, she put a curse on Ridian. Okay, fair enough. That was out of order, and I might send her.
Quite like Ridian. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was out of order, but deserved. But she didn't really want to kill that young lady that got. She didn't want to kill anybody.
Bella.
I don't know. She didn't want to kill anybody. She just wanted to make Ridian hideously ugly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just to teach him.
That's all. But yet we booed her, and I encouraged a 5-year-old. Well, they were 4 and 2 at the time. I encouraged them to boo her, and shout sexist abuse at her.
What? What did they shout?
I cannot say it on the radio. It's pantomime. You just let it all hang out. And because of that, they asked me to leave. Because I was letting it all hang out.
Right. And is she getting a TV show?
No,
Well, I don't see what the relevance has been to any of this.
What other stories have you got, my darling?
A bigger heart risk if you are a shorty.
Yeah, and I know why.
Because if you carry an extra weight, it will not be distributed as evenly.
No, but you're shorter.
Yeah.
So you're carrying less weight than a tallie.
No.
Yes.
Because you can get... Right, you can get...
Hang on a minute. She is shorter than me. She is shorter than thee, right? And she is carrying less weight than thee.
Yeah, because she's half my size. But
she's shorter.
Yeah, but if she weighed a stone more than she should, it would look more on her because she's tiny.
It don't say we fat blokes. Read the story.
Genes with a G mean your risk
like
of...
Simmons.
And Kelly. Mean your risk of heart disease grows the shorter you are, scientists have claimed.
Nothing to do with weight.
It had been thought the link could be down to childhood diet or lifestyle, but researchers found that genes with a G that control height also affect potential heart problems.
Can I stop you there? Kelly's got a question.
I know why.
Why?
We have to work a lot harder in terms of if us three are walking down the street, my legs are going a lot quicker to keep up with yours.
She's true.
My heart is boom, 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 boom.
She's true, and she falls in love a lot.
Oh, what was that noise?
That was my mouth. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Continue.
A study at Leicester University worked out the risk is 13.5% higher for each 2.5 inches. How many inches you got, Kelly?
Couple.
With a 5-foot man, Colin, listen up,
Colin, mate, don't move. Just lie on your bed, don't move, because if you any sudden movement, that's it, you're a goner.
Crikey bobs. With a 5-foot man 65% more likely to suffer than a bloke of 6 feet.
I'm quids in.
Professor Sir Nilesh Samani of
Hello, is it Sir what?
Nilesh or Nilesh.
Is he knighted?
Yes.
Hey, good for him.
And a professor. He's a very accomplished man.
Flipping it. I'd be happy with one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Which one?
I wouldn't be happy with the name Nilesh, though.
It wouldn't fit with Lee, would it?
No, Nilesh Lee. What's his last name?
Samani.
They go together.
Goes nicely.
They go together.
So, would you rather be a professor or a sir?
I'd rather be Sir Professor, but like a supervillain. Oh no! It's Sir Professor! And then I'd dazzle people because I'd be dressed up like a knight.
What powers would you have?
I'd be doing experiments.
Oh, right.
Anyway, he said, researchers have shown that the association between shorter height and high risk of coronary heart disease is a primary relationship.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Still busy on the M25 anti-clockwise through junction 19 for Watford, and the A1M southbound's looking quite slow through junction 7 for Stevenage. No reports of any delays elsewhere on the motorways, but it is quite foggy on the A1M looking at the CCTV camera, so visibility could be a problem. On the A1 southbound, it's looking slow from the St Neots junction to the Black Cat roundabout, and then Dunstable on the speed sensors. High Street North is looking very slow around Church Street still. On the trains, the 8:30 service from High Wycombe to Marylebone is cancelled, and the French air traffic control strike is still on, so that could cause delays and cancellations to flights to and from Luton Airport today. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: Bedfordshire company creating thousands of apprenticeships, election row over Trident, and report into Buckinghamshire plane crash.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. David Cameron is hailing Whitbread's plans for 6,000 new places as he highlights the Conservatives' commitment to deliver 3 million new training places if they regain power. The Conservatives, meanwhile, are claiming that Labour would be willing to compromise on Britain's nuclear deterrent to win the SNP's backing to secure power. The Defence Secretary Michael Fallon has confirmed the Tories' policy to renew Trident, but says Ed Miliband would be willing to stab the United Kingdom in the back to become Prime Minister. Labour says the claim is totally fabricated, as the BBC's Ross Hawkins explains.
Labour are absolutely clear, speaking to them last night and this morning. They say we're not going to negotiate that. There's not going to be any sort of compromise. In reality, if what you're really worried about is whether we would have new nuclear weapons, in any parliament, the likelihood is the Conservatives and Labour together would support it. But it would make any formal deal between the SNP and Labour very difficult.
More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters, according to new figures from the charity Age UK. It shows a third of older people who responded to a scam may have lost £1,000 or more. Sylvia Edwards from Luton handed over her account details to conmen, but contacted the bank before anything was stolen.
I'm absolutely petrified about, how I could have been taken in, because I'm quite an intelligent woman and I don't fall for scams like this. So I just was absolutely shocked to find that I'd been taken in.
Exploratory drilling has discovered that up to 100 billion barrels of oil may be beneath the south of England. It's thought to be the most significant onshore discovery in the area in more than 30 years. Accident investigators have failed to determine why a plane crashed in Buckinghamshire, killing its pilot. Shortly before the crash near Padbury, he sent a text message to a relative saying his aircraft was out of control. More from Carol Abercrombie.
The accident happened on the 20th of August last year after Mohamed Navied had spent a day flying out of Elstree Aerodrome. Having tried to phone a relative and sent the text message saying he was crashing, the 60-year-old radioed a mayday before the plane entered a downward spiral into a field. Investigators have found no evidence that the plane was faulty and can't explain how it stayed airborne for 2 minutes after the pilot sent the text.
Firefighters from Bedfordshire have been called to a major blaze in neighbouring Cambridgeshire, which has closed the A11. 60 firefighters have been tackling the blaze at a straw processing plant. In sport, Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. And golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. The weather, early mist should clear to leave another fine and dry day with long spells of sunshine, a maximum temperature 18 degrees Celsius, and you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Don't worry, guys. I know you're all wondering. Yes, I've just fixed the drone. That's all right, guys.
Across
That's
beds,
all right.
hearts and
I don't mind.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Oh, now... Oh, there it is. Okay, right, fine. You owe me an A. You owe me a white A, Catherine.
Right, noted.
Okay, got that noted down, a white A. Have we got any texts? I don't think we've looked at any texts this morning,
We
have we?
haven't.
Lots to talk about this morning. When have you lost a day? What was the last thing you had delivered? Ever had a baby delivered in the streets? What would Ed Miliband's wife fell in love with him when she got attacked by a Doberman? He bandaged her up. Oh, can I just put the bandage on you?
And she knew.
When were you violently attacked by an animal and fell in love? 08459 455 555.
Mine was over a service station, Butty.
Yeah.
Right, we've got loads of text messages here. What have you had delivered? Seems to be going as a storm.
Yeah, but I bet they're boring.
No, get this one. OK, Susie from Bedford. My friend Donna...
Morning, Susie.
My friend Donna purchased her bright cerise pink wedding dress, 100% man-made fibre, via mail order from China. She looked stunning, although a tad big fat gypsy wedding, without the aid of that Liverpudlian dressmaker, and at a fraction of the price. With permission, I could forward pictures, says Susie in Bedford, who says it's her friend, but if she's doing this, I'm guessing not for much longer. Here's another one. I had a pair of sugar skull earrings delivered for my missus, says Tasteful James of Alderton.
Sugar skull? What's a skull?
Sugar skulls. Aren't they like those Mexican Day of the Dead type elaborate...
skull.
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 Under your skin, your skull.
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 Skull. Skull. Simon says, morning, sir. Any drone footage from the show this morning? No, Catherine hasn't got a memory card yet. We'll get that tomorrow, and we'll post that online.
OK.
We'll do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, footage
You're
of
not
the
even
studio.
joking.
No, that's for real. I mean, that's serious.
Serious stuff.
Serious
We're
stuff.
not just playing games here. This is an extra tool for our show.
Thank you, my darling. Yeah, exactly, because we've got 2 tools already.
Yeah.
Now we only got a third.
Mm-hmm.
You and Justin.
Was that the chair?
No, that was my bum. Speaking of which, we have been tweeted things that look like bums. Scott's suggested... Scott suggested 2 small boys fighting under a duvet, or 2 peaches in a silk hanky. So,
No, that's what bums look like. Isn't it? You got it the wrong way round, Scott. Nice try, though.
Thank you, Scott.
Call 08459 455
Right, onwards.
555.
BBC Three
Here we
Counties
go.
Radio.
Serious story now, guys. More than half of people aged over 65 believe that someone has tried to con them. That's according to new research from Age UK. They found that a third of those who fell for a scam lost £1,000 or more. Well, Sylvia Edwards lives in Luton. And Sylvia, you've been a victim of a scam, haven't you?
Yes, Ian, indeed I have.
What happened, Sylvia?
Well, phone rang, and I was a bit put off because I was a bit of a hurry, but the phone rang, and this gentleman said he was from Barclays Bank fraud department, and £3,000 had been taken from my account. They had the people in custody, but they needed my help.
Right.
And then they told me to ring the police, and they gave me this number and asked for this gentleman. I can't recall his name at the moment. And I did that, and this man confirmed, yes, this was a genuine call. So then when they rang back, they said, was that okay? I said, yes, I'm satisfied. But then they told me to ring the fraud branch at Barclays Bank and gave me a number, and I did that. And lady answered, and she said, I'll put you through. And then we came back to this man, and he said, are you satisfied? And I said, yes. What I didn't realise was that they'd been holding on to the phone.
This is that trick, isn't it? And I've heard so many stories of this, Sylvia, where you think that you've hung up on them, but they've kept the line open.
So I wasn't speaking to the police. I wasn't speaking to Barclays Bank. I was actually speaking to the fraudsters all the time.
The thing is, it's obviously, it's so elaborate that they had all these different voices and people there.
Yes, women and men.
Deary me.
And they are really, really convincing. But the most frightening thing was yet to come, because they said, right, now we've satisfied you. You need to satisfy us with some questions.
Oh.
And they asked me then for my mother's maiden name and different things relating to transactions on my account, which is what Barclays Bank would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that is the most frightening thing, because they then had access to my bank account, as Barclays explained to me later on during the day, that they could have rung up Barclays Bank, they would have cleared security and have got into my account and could have transferred every penny out of it.
How much did they get, Sylvia?
They didn't actually get anything.
Oh, good.
I was so lucky because...
How did you swing that?
Well, I was very, very lucky in as much as they didn't go down that route of ringing my bank. They was more interested in getting hold of my bank cards and PIN number.
Is this the thing where they were going to send someone round to collect it?
They did.
Oh.
They did indeed send somebody round. And they took my bank statements, they took my credit card, but what I didn't do, I didn't put my PIN number in there, you see.
Genius.
But that didn't alter the fact that, with bank cards, you can only draw out a certain amount.
Yeah.
But with that security number, they could have drawn out a lot.
Yeah.
They asked me to go to the bank and draw out £10,000.
You must have got suspicious then, Sylvia.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Was that the moment?
I did get a bit suspicious then, because I thought, no way could anybody walk into a bank and say, all right, I have £10,000, please. That sort of money you would have to give notice for. And so I said, no, I'm not prepared to do that. But I did agree to let them come round and take my card. I know. And then I rang my son's girlfriend, and she said, you've been scammed. I said, no. I would not accept what she was saying to me on the phone.
Yeah.
No. I just would not accept what she was saying to me. I did, however, she had to use another phone and phone the police, and I did. And luckily, the lady I spoke to she belonged to Barclays Bank, because she said, ring Barclays. So I haven't got their number. How can I? They've got my card, they've got everything. But she banked with Barclays, so she was able to give me the number that I needed to phone.
Yeah.
So I phoned immediately, and but I have to say Barclays Bank was very good. They immediately froze the account.
I bet when you phoned up, they went, oh, no, not this again.
No, they didn't, actually. They just said to me, they were more annoyed that had given them my security number. She said, you do realise that they could have taken transferred every penny out of your account. And I didn't actually know that.
Oh, so did you ever think you'd get ripped off like this? Because you sound like a very sensible lady who's got her head screwed on.
Yeah, I have. I worked in the civil service for 28 years.
Well, Sylvia, let's be honest, that doesn't mean anything these days.
And, I I'm not an unintelligent woman by any means, and I've always laughed at people that got scammed. I would never get scammed, says I.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable when it happens to you. It really is.
How did you feel?
Violated. That I felt stupid. I felt I just all sorts of different emotions. But looking back, when everything calmed down and I look back on it, there are things that should have alerted me. The fact is, the bank ringing and asking for security questions, you only need that if you are ringing the bank.
Well, do you know that, though, Sylvia? Because I have had my bank genuinely call me. And they said, Mr. Lee, we want to speak to you about the transaction that's happened, but we need to confirm that you are who you are. And they've asked for my password or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I have said, well, I'm not going to give you I'm not going to give you that because you called me. And they said, well, we can't help you with the problem.
Yeah, but
and then I've called the bank back, and it has been genuine. So sometimes they do.
Yes, but then it's better to call the bank back.
Yes.
And then you'll know that it's genuine.
Exactly.
But and the bank shouldn't do that because. It could be anybody, and they have access to your account at that point in time.
The thing of your story that makes me feel really uncomfortable is the bloke turning up at the door.
Yes.
That's the bit that makes me feel, oh, dear.
What they told me to do was to put the cards, I had 2 accounts, put the cards into an envelope with a bank statement and put private and confidential and hand it to the courier that would call at my house.
Yeah.
And it was a taxi firm.
Yeah. Oh, OK, so it's just they got, Joe Blogg's cabs to come and pick it up.
Yeah, that's right. Although the man did look very, very nervous, and I wonder why he looked so nervous. He didn't say a word, he didn't speak, he just took the bag, the envelope and just walked off.
Maybe he thought you were a drug dealer, Sylvia. Or an arms dealer.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. How long ago was this, Sylvia?
This about 18 months ago, I think.
Okay.
But I'm surprised it's still going on because I came on the radio and warned everybody at that time.
Yeah.
And it's still apparently going on.
Sad, isn't it? And they're horrible people out there.
They really are.
Go and get a job. Go and do something productive.
What I would like to say is I think partly it was my fault to a certain extent because they knew so much about my account.
Yeah.
I had a regular payment.
How is that your fault?
Well, I had a regular payment going out to another bank, and they knew about that. They was very excited, asking questions about that. At that point, I did get annoyed. I said, it's none of your business. But I think what I was doing, every now and again, I'd clear out all my bank statements, tear it all up, and put it in a carrier bag and put it in the dustbin. And I think that's how they got it.
Maybe.
It is important to shred everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's...
It's such a faff, and I know that. It's such a faff, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit of a faff, but better the faff than this happened to somebody else, what happened to me.
Sylvia, listen, I'm glad you they didn't get anything, and, thanks very much for coming on and sharing your story, and hopefully, warning a few other people.
Yeah, I hope so.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Oh, you're welcome.
Take care, bye-bye. What a delightful lady.
Isn't she terrific?
Isn't she brilliant?
Now, I'd rather speak to 10 Sylvias than one so-called expert.
Yeah. What a brilliant lady. Thank you, Sylvia. That was I thoroughly enjoyed listening to her story.
It's the other way around, isn't it? I'd rather speak to one Sylvia than 10 experts.
Yeah,
but anyway, I was trying to give you a compliment.
Oh, she was good. Well, you get people like that and you think, well, how can we get them on again? What story can we wangle to get someone like Sylvia on again? She was good. Right, 08459 455 555.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the A1M southbound, it's looking slow now from junction 9 for Letchworth towards junction 7 for Stevenage. And the M25 anti-clockwise is very busy between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40. Looking at the roads around the M25, the North Orbital Road is looking very slow around the M25 junction 21A roundabout. In Watford on Rickmansworth Road, that's slow westbound after the Town Hall roundabout. And in Dunstable on High Street North, that's very busy around Church Street. Looking at the train departure boards, and the 8:32 service from Stevenage to London King's Cross has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much. Right, 8:16. It is Thursday, the 9th of April. Kelly's walking out with a really big book. It's a big book. Big. What could she have in there? Spells, probably. It looks like a spell book. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. More than half of people aged over 65 have been targeted by fraudsters. That's according to new figures from the charity Age UK. And the Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied that they are willing to scrap it as part of a deal with the SNP.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Jonathan.
Good morning.
You right?
Yes,
You got a naughty little grin on your face. What have you been up to upstairs?
Just gauging what mood you're in today. I'm just seeing what kind of ride I'm in for.
I'm in for a rough ride if that's what you'd like. No, I'm gonna gentle ride today.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride you gently.
You look a little bit sleepy actually today, don't you?
Very sleepy.
Are you very sleepy? Why are you very sleepy?
Not sleeping very well. I'm not. I'm sleeping I had a sleep in the day yesterday for 2 hours. It was the deepest sleep I've ever had in my life. I woke up and I felt like I was coming back from the dead.
Really?
And then last night I just couldn't sleep. Night time, I'm sleeping terribly.
Oh dear.
Any tips to help me get off?
No.
Oh.
I mean,
you drink heavily, don't you?
I do. I employ the method of at least half a bottle of wine every night.
Oh dear. Oh, really? Do you really?
Followed by a very, every night at least. Followed by a very luxurious mattress.
Oh.
And a little bit of TV just before bed. They say you shouldn't do that, but for me it helps.
I listen to LBC and that sends me to sleep too. That tends to send me to sleep. Hey, have you seen this? Listen, you should treat your team more often.
Treat them?
Yeah, treat Laura.
Treat Laura? No, I've heard you talk about this. I'm not treating Laura with that.
Take her to the Portsmouth City Museum. This fella, Matthew Harrison, single, is displaying his £3,000 collection of Back to the Future memorabilia.
Oh.
Take her.
I don't want to. I'd be bored out of my brains.
I always take my team out on trips, don't I, team? Yeah, so I think you should do the same. It's called team management. Because basically, my team, they're a bit thick, aren't you, team?
What?
So what I do is I occupy their minds by taking them out on fancy trips, don't I, team?
You really are.
Sorry?
A massive.
There we go. Massive, great guy, she was going to say. Weren't you, Kath?
Talent.
And if you I will not do any.
Here we go, you see. So they're now on my side. They're under my thumb. They do whatever I want, don't you, team?
That is so not true.
There you go, you see. It's Kelly in someone's pocket.
They look. I mean, I'm looking at your team through the glass. They look a really happy
Don't look at them.
ship.
Don't make eye contact with them.
Why not? What happens if you look at them?
Don't.
He looks over here.
There we go. Don't make eye contact with them. It only encourages them.
Right.
So just a suggestion, maybe take Laura for that and buy Tim.
No, I'd imagine it's
biscuits
full of weirdos.
Oh dear, you saying Laura's a weirdo?
Coming up on the big phone in this morning at 9. Do you have sympathy for bosses who don't want to employ fat people? Nearly half of Britain's bosses are unlikely to hire overweight workers as they're seen as less productive, apparently. That's the finding of a new survey which polled over 1,000 employers about their attitudes to obese workers. When asked why, common replies were they wouldn't be able to do the job required, or they wouldn't be able to play a full role in the business.
They'd eat the full role.
Well, from 9 this morning, do you have sympathy for bosses who don't want to employ fat people? Your stories, your views on 08459 455 555 from 9.
Every weekday morning.
Coming up at 9 on the big phone in this morning, is it a good idea to make jobless teenagers work for their benefits? How would you like this country to stand up to President Putin? Are you surprised to see British people being blatantly racist?
The JVS Show.
I think we've got to get over this issue about racism doesn't exist. It has existed. It will probably carry on existing.
What I wanted to say is they've got this completely the wrong way round. You know, that is also true. That is also true.
You will always get some, but they are such a minority.
I think the man's a buffoon. Get him up, get him out of bed, give him a sense of purpose.
The JVS Show.
Do you think we have got to, as a country, start taking this issue more seriously?
Every weekday morning on BBC Three Counties Radio. Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Now, a fundraising campaign set up in honour of a Watford football fan who was left with serious head injuries after being attacked has raised, well, Justin was telling us this morning, about £37,000. Nick Crewis is from Hemel and was punched and kicked in the head following the away match against Wolverhampton last month. He's now in a high dependency ward where he's able to walk with some assistance, but is still very ill. Well, the fundraising was set up by a young gentleman called Ollie Floyd, who's 16 years old. Ollie, you're from Hemel, but you're a Wolves fan. How does that work?
Yeah, basically my mum's was born in Wolverhampton, and I have family that live in Wolverhampton, and I guess that's just the team I ended up choosing, really.
Okay, well, there were some people that would call you a traitor, Ollie, but I'm not going to get involved in the football politics. Am I right? It's about £37,000, isn't it?
Yeah, it passed that last night. I mean, Watford FC put out a statement which was an open letter from the family, and that, I mean, I think that sort of spurted up the fund a little bit.
You started the fund, did you, Ollie?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me what your thinking was behind it.
Basically, I went to the game after which it happened, the incident, and I felt that I needed to do something because, I mean, I had quite strong connections with both Watford and Wolves, and of course Hemel Hempstead, where Nick is from, and I just felt that something needed to be done to show that the football community could come together and support his family, really, and it has done.
And what did you do it on? One of those Just Giving type pages? Where is it if people want to find it?
Yeah, the website is called GoFundMe, and it's an American website where anyone can basically seek funding for almost anything, really. And it's a very good site.
And if they want to find this specific fund and pop a few quid in, how do they do that?
If they type into Google GoFundMe and then Nick Cruise, they should be able to find it. It'll be like the first result.
And
there.
It's spelt quite an odd way. Cruwys. So if people want to have a look at that. How long is it going to go on for, Ollie?
I mean, it kind of depends on how Nick is getting on, really. I mean, the news that came out yesterday was really encouraging.
Yeah.
So, I mean, regardless, I think it's going to be a long recovery.
And have you spoken to the family? What have they said?
Yeah, I spoke to the family more so a couple of weeks ago when we both got invited to the Watford Reading game, and yeah, I mean we got to discuss it at length then, and also since via messaging on the internet and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we just had to work out how we're like transferring the money to Nick. And
Ollie, listen, it will sound patronising when I say this, but I mean it genuinely. Well done. You're a good lad, and you have done a good thing. So you should feel very proud of yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ollie. Cheers, mate. Ta-ta. There we go. What's going on with the show? We're just getting nice, good people on.
Well, they're out there, so I'm harvesting them.
He's 16 years old. I think what I was doing at 16 years old, blimey, and he's going to change a family's life. Isn't that incredible?
Good lad.
Isn't that incredible? Well done, Nick. That's Ollie. Sorry, well, that's brilliant news. I'm sure Nick's family are over the moon. They've got someone like you on their side. Douglas is in Barton. Good morning, Douglas.
Morning.
What have you got for us, sir?
Right. Well, basically, it's a fraud.
What, this show?
There's a postcard put through your door.
Yeah.
Which is from a company called LSL. Okay, and what they do is they ask you to ring up. You've got to ring up, and they've got some jewellery for you, parcel, £50, and you've got to pay £10 to have it released, and then they've got all your details on your MasterCard. So I looked at it and I thought, well, it is a fraud. So I got on to Action Fraud, and if you look up LSL on your computer, evidently, it comes up that it is a fraud. But they said they'd let you know, but obviously nobody has.
Who said they'd let who know?
Well, the Action Fraud. I said, would you let people know?
Oh no.
But nobody's got in touch with yourself.
Oh, I've just seen it. Yes, look, notice a parcel claim from Levine and Sadler Limited.
It's in Fiji, very tiny writing. You'd have to put a magnifying glass on it. It's done in Fiji, and it gives you 7 days to do it.
Oh, blimey!
But I just heard your other one.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll let you know. But I went through the process, obviously, of getting a reference number and everything
The fraud department, from what I can gather, having had no personal involvement with them, are rubbish, aren't they?
I tried to get in touch with them when someone was trying to con me, so it was in the process of happening.
Yeah.
And I said, look,
you've got the phone number, the
Yeah,
0300
absolutely. I rang them and I sent them the details.
Yeah.
Nothing. And as far as I can see, they're not interested unless you've been done.
Yeah, they don't. Well, I've heard so many reports about it. If you've dealt with the fraud department, do let us know, because it was the police, and then it got siphoned off to the fraud department,
which is action fraud.
Yeah, which is a separate
thing. Yeah, that's what you have to go through. The 101, and then they pass you through to action fraud. Eventually, I got the number.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention. It's much appreciated. Yeah, there's been I've heard loads of programmes on Radio 4 about it, you and yours and stuff.
Yeah.
Action fraud don't give us stuff. They don't give us stuff, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, no, we do," but nothing seems to get done.
You would think if you can hand over an active case and they could take it over, they would be pretty simple for them to get these guys, but they weren't interested.
You know that money got nicked from my mum's room in her care home by one of the carers, and the police investigated. Police aren't going to do anything. The police aren't going to do anything because they've got nothing. They've got nothing to go on.
What? Hang on a minute. It's in a locked box.
Yeah. So 90 quid.
Only how many people have access to?
8.
So that's a short list.
8. Get this. My mum in a care home. This has really peed me off recently, and I'm doing my best not to get particularly angry with them, although it's hard. 90 quid in a safe. There were safes in their room that can only be opened by a member of the staff with a key. 90 quid got nicked from it.
Right.
And another resident had money nicked from their room. Different circumstances, we've been told. They won't go into any more details. The police investigated and came back and said, "Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. We'll let this one go."
So they couldn't look into those people's bank affairs.
We'll let this one go. We'll let this one go of people in a position of trust stealing money from a severely disabled woman. Oh, all right. Nice one, police. Nice one, police. Nice one, Thames Valley Police.
Because that doesn't get to the heart of the trust that you put into them.
1,300 quid a week we pay for that service, for her to be looked after.
1,390.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Thank you very much. 08459 455 555. Let's get the travel. Here's Sammy.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's busy on the M25 anti-clockwise at junction 17 from Maple Cross to junction 16 for the M40. On the A1M southbound, that's looking very slow from junction 9 for Letchworth to 7 for Stevenage. And in Dunstable, it's still very busy on the A5 High Street North around the Church Street junction and West Street. On the A1 southbound, it's very busy approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the St Neots junction. And on the trains, no major delay showing up at the moment on the departure boards, but the French air traffic control strike is still on, so that could cause some delays and cancellations for flights to and from Luton Airport today. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. An oil exploration firm has announced there could be up to 100 billion barrels of oil beneath the south of England. And the Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they're willing to scrap it as part of a deal with the SNP.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Liverpool are through to the FA Cup semi-finals after a 1-0 replay win at Blackburn. They will face Aston Villa at Wembley. Here's manager Brendan Rodgers.
Very, very important for us. On the back of playing so well for 3 odd months and then letting our standards drop in 2 important games, it was very important for us to reach the semi-final tonight. But you got to give immense credit to the players. Coming to here, difficult game. Against a very good opponent. I thought overall, as I said, the players were outstanding.
Watford captain Troy Deeney has been shortlisted for the Championship Player of the Month award for March. Deeney scored 5 goals in 5 games to help keep the Hornets on course for automatic promotion. Golf's US Masters starts today at Augusta with world number 1 Rory McIlroy aiming to complete a Grand Slam of major victories. McIlroy is sharing the spotlight with the returning Tiger Woods.
He was a hero of mine growing up. I did have posters of him on my wall. I did idolise him, really. You get a lot of the guys that are my age up here and they'd say the same thing. He was a hero to us growing up. That's why I have so many guys, in their early 20s that are so good right now.
Former England cricket captain Michael Vaughan has told the BBC he would be interested in the ECB's new Director of Cricket role. Paul Downton left his post as Managing Director yesterday. And in racing, the Grand National meeting starts today at Aintree with champion jockey AP McCoy competing for the final time before retiring. More from the BBC's Luke Harvey.
It used to be that the Grand National Meeting was just about one race. This year, you know, the last few years, it hasn't been like that because there's a 4-week gap between Cheltenham and Aintree. A lot of the horses that ran at Cheltenham are running here, you know, the likes of Sylvian Arca, Conti, Mafiel, Hollywell, Arctic Fire, who ran so well in the Champion Hurdle. So it's not only got the AP factor, it's got the equine quality as well.
BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
There once was a wealthy man who had a wonderful idea to bring children from all places with all kinds of faces together into a sailing ship. There were 40 boys and girls. They would sail their ship around the globe, so they called it the United World. The ship was just 3 weeks from shore when a hurricane bore it down. The waves were big as mountains. They found they would surely drown. They jumped into the lifeboats, rowed away from the wreck. They didn't count them, they hadn't time. 5 children were left behind. The children fought the storm all night and finally fell asleep. They didn't realize the ship had been blown across a reef into the lost islands. What? Hiding in the bushes was a watchful pair of eyes, and living in the valley were people lost in time, ruled over by a tyrant whose face was in a mask. The children must defeat him so they can escape at last from the lost islands. The lost islands.
08459 455 555. Get some texts ready, Catherine. Let's go to Matt in Dunstable first. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Ian. How are you?
I'm all right, fella. What you got for us?
I was just going to say you really need to make a complaint to your local force and to the IPCC if they're not willing to do anything, because the police won't do anything unless you absolutely badger them. I mean, I had a case with a friend of mine who owns a business and who had business diverted to another account that was set up in his name by somebody else, and that person has been tax evading to the tune of about £500,000.
Oh, blimey.
And the police weren't willing to do very much at all, and gave them sort of, you know, lip service. And then as soon as he made a complaint to the IPCC and they got involved, it became a different story.
I'm very disappointed. It will be, before I slag them off, it will be Thames Valley Police. It's in Bucks, in Buckinghamshire. Is that Thames Valley? Who is that?
That's Thames Valley.
I am... hello. Oh, look. It's Paul Scoins. I am very disappointed in Thames Valley Police, because it's poor showing. Poor showing.
I mean, they have a duty to investigate every complaint that is put to them. Whether they do that or not is up to them, but they have a duty to do that. So you need to make a complaint to them, and then if you're not happy with their response, go to the IPCC. I mean, it sounds to me like if there are 8 people, they could limit it down pretty easily.
You would think so. Matt, listen, I appreciate your input. Thank you very much indeed, and it's something I'm going to look into. Scoin, sit down. It's so great to see you.
Hey.
You must be literally just busy all the time with the election coming on.
Yeah. Ooh. Whoa. You've got a drone.
No.
No, calm down!
Oh, you're actually dusting.
I'm going to land it on your head.
Go on.
Hang on.
Whoa. This must be what it feels like to live in a country overseas.
What?
The American.
There we go. Landed it on his head.
Safely.
Let me just take that off your head there.
Ow.
And put that there. How you doing, fella?
I'm all right. I bought your book. I meant to... You said something a couple of weeks ago about...
Now, when you say you bought me a book, you've brought me a book.
No, I bought you a book. This is your book.
Like that video game you brought me?
Well, that was a bring.
Hey, by the way, you've still got my DVD of Tangled.
Me?
First of all, you can have that, and secondly, thank you.
Have you got my copy of Django Unchained?
No, I haven't.
Have you got my copy of...
You lent that...
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
No. Have you got a brother?
Hey, you've still got The Returned.
Right. chill. Have you got a brother?
Yes.
You lent Django Unchained to him?
I didn't.
You did?
I've checked.
You told me.
I didn't.
I wouldn't want to borrow that film. It looks boring.
It's not.
I could get it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, but then I'm pretty sure I gave it to you. Or at least lent it.
You didn't!
Okay.
He's definitely got Tangled.
Right, I've got Tangled. That was a give.
No.
You have not lent me any DVDs. Yes, you gave me that video game. It turns out later on that actually what you meant to say was a lend. And all right, yeah. Well, you're never going to see that again. I've sold it. Just calm down.
That was like £40.
Well, you're very generous. Thank you. It's gone to a good cause. I got a £5 for it.
I've got your old people singing rock songs.
What? Oh, hang on. This is £1.
Well, hang on.
Oh, hang on a minute.
That was
in
posted.
pencil, inside, it's £1.
That was posted.
Oh, mate, thanks a lot for nothing.
We haven't read it yet. It's good. It's about how we try to speed everything up in our lives, and sometimes...
Come on, we haven't got much time. Quick, get to the point.
That was it.
Get to the point. We haven't got much time. Do you see what I'm doing there?
Oh, see?
I'm poning you.
Well, I think it was because you were talking about pressing a button over and over again.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's friendship. That's real friendship. Who's winning in the election? Who do you want to win in the election? Let's get personal here. Who do you want to win? Who's your favourite?
The good guys.
Are they running?
Oh, political satire.
Satire. Let me just... Hang on a minute. I can do that again, but make it a little bit more exciting. Hang on.
This is good.
Hang on. Who do you want to win?
The good guys?
Are they running?
It is so close to my home.
No, that is not the one. Okay. Who do you want to win?
The good guys.
Are they running?
Oh.
Satire! All our BBC buses are panicking. Don't worry, Scoins is in the studio. Nothing could go wrong. But seriously, who do you want to win?
Yeah.
Which one?
Well, any of them.
Okay, good lad. You see, he's good. I can't get him the sack by fair means, so I'm trying to get him the sack by foul. Who's your favourite MP?
Oh.
And who would you like to win again? Oh, he's good. He's good.
He's
good.
dying to say. Look at his
Isn't he?
little face.
Look. Isn't he? He's dying to say. Well, I don't know what that face is. I think that's a poo face.
It's
okay, well, you go off and... nice to see you, Scoins. Where are you off to today?
Cheshunt.
I don't know why that made me laugh. Catherine Boyle, when did we get into Texas
Some
for
Texas. Hello, Iain, says Rob. Say hello to Rob.
Hello, Rob. How you doing?
Since you seem to be able to play anything you want, how come you never play the Curry Corder Quartet? Oh, but he did.
Sorry?
The Curry Corder Quartet.
They've split up. Well, they haven't split up, guys. One of them's left. Don't. But they might be coming back. I have, haven't I?
Yeah, you did ages ago.
Can you... we won't be able to find that, so we'll leave that.
Oh, you're saying that like a...
All right, then, fine. Find the Kurikorda Quartet, Pythagoras Suichi. That's Japanese for Pythagoras' switch. Pythagoras Suichi.
How you spell it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
Spell it.
P-I-T, that's all you need to
And
know.
then switchy.
Pythagoras Suichi.
Who sings it?
The Kurikorda Quartet, Kuricorder Quartet.
Konnichiwa. Keiki, harimasu ka?
I've not got any cake.
Oh, damn it.
Watashi wa vegetarian desu. Sakana to nikko tabimasen. I don't need to say that anymore.
You're not vegetarian anymore.
Good morning, Justin.
Hey, good morning, boss. How are you?
Have you got it, Kelly?
I'm really bored of looking.
Oh, unbelievable!
I mean...
Could you believe this, Justin? Or is it unbelievable? Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. I can see why people hate this show.
So can I.
I really can.
Can I stop you there?
Please.
Say hello to Tracy.
Good morning, Tracy.
Tracy is a very attractive lady in, I would say, mid-40s.
What's looks got to do with it, mate? I don't see looks or colour.
Well, let me finish. She works at the local sunbed shop, and she came out to see me specifically today to say how much she enjoys your programme.
Yeah, because you what keeps her... You feed her children, basically.
No, nothing to do with me.
What's the sunbed shop called? Is it called Beauty and the Beach? Because that's your fave.
Is it called
No.
Tamfastic?
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
I don't go to that one.
Okay. Why do you do that to yourself, mate?
Well, I can't for the time being, for the next 4 weeks anyway.
What,
Why?
medical reasons?
What? Yeah, medical reasons, yeah.
Oh.
Hang on, what medical reasons mean you can't go for a suntan?
Antibiotics.
What's wrong with you?
Can't say.
Hang on a minute. He's the fellow who was here last week going, all right, geez, I never get ill, geez. I eat these vitamins, geez. I never get ill. And now you got the lurgy and you're walking around and you've not told anyone about it.
This
is it contagious?
I'm just taking a few antibiotics to get me on the, straight and narrow, and hopefully I'll be okay.
STD?
No.
Okay. All right,
no, it's
mate.
not.
All right, mate. Of course it's not, mate.
Similar, though. Similar.
Oh.
BTD?
Waterworks. Anyway,
No
move
comment.
on.
Oh, cystitis? Have you?
Maybe.
Oh, mate. Does it hurt to pee?
Sometimes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful is it to pee?
7.
Can you stop, because I'll be getting another phone call.
Oh, this is medical... No, listen. When Justin and I discuss our medical issues... We're actually helping men.
Yeah,
forget your women with all your women's issues. Oh, I've got my Tampax in the petrol station. Forget all that. We're over that. Men are still really reluctant to go to the... There could be men who are finding it painful to pee. Luckily, I've never had it yet. Finding it painful to pee, and they won't go to the doctors. Hearing someone like Justin, who I do not know why, but is a hero to many, talk about his painful urinary tract, that is going to help men. Well done, Justin.
It is actually.
You
to be
should
fair,
get a Daily
Go
Mirror
to the doctors.
Pride of Britain award.
Yeah.
Go to the doctors. Some of them are hot.
Cranberry juice. I've had cystitis. It's very uncomfortable.
Cranberry juice does help. Yes.
No, it doesn't work.
It's got more sugar in cranberry juice than a can of Coke.
Yeah, it's true.
But strangely, it's really good for your teeth, isn't it?
Coke? No, of course not, mate.
No.
It's Coke.
Cranberry juice.
Well, no, don't drink it. I don't like it.
Well, you would if you had a uncomfortable...
I wouldn't. I'd talk to Justin and find out what had happened to him, and he'd tell me he'd gone to the doctors, who was hot.
Anyway.
And I would then go and get some... I'd go and see the hot doc and get some antibiotics.
Say good morning to Tracy, move on.
Good morning, Tracy. See what you've done, Tracy? You've created division where there was none. You've created hatred amongst friends. You've created an what's it? That book, Advantage Amongst Equals, Lesser of Two Evils. The book by not Jonathan Swift, the man who got done for perjury. Slept with a prostitute.
Oh, I'm staying out of this one.
Jeffrey Archer.
Yeah.
I am right on both those counts, aren't I? What was honest an equal amongst equals, a better amongst equals, 2 men and an equal, 3 men and a baby.
Men.
What?
Of Mice and Men.
No. What was the name of the book? We'll have to do your thing after the news now, Justin. You've really get on my nerves, Tracy. You see what you've done, Tracy?
Tracy.
With your stinking blooming tan fat stick.
All because you won't tan Justin.
You disgust me, Tracy. An honest amongst equals, an equal, lesser of two
Heard it
equals.
through the grapevine.
No, that's Marvin Gaye's.
Great track.
Stop, please.
What is the name of the book? 08459 455 555. An advantage amongst equals. It's something amongst men of equal.
Is it? I've got a list. Is it Cain and Abel?
No.
Is it Time Will Tell?
It's got equal in it.
Is it Be Careful What You Wish For?
Amongst equals.
As the crow flies?
As amongst equals.
A Prisoner of Birth.
You're getting on my nerves now. Do you see what you've done, Tracy?
A Matter of Honour.
You make me want to puke.
And thereby hangs a tale.
She's banned from listening to this show, fan or not. I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm just not having it.
12 Red Herrings.
No! Answer the phone. Put them straight through, because they'll want to end this madness. Just whack them straight through. Unless it's the bloke who phoned up to complain yesterday, in which case probably best we don't speak to him again.
I don't know who it is.
Line 2, who is this, please?
Hi, it's Pam in Hatfield.
Good morning, Pam. Please put us out of our misery.
First amongst equals.
Oh, yes! Pam, have you read it?
No.
Oh, Pam, thank you very much indeed.
So, I don't get what you mean by that.
I don't remember what the point was.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's still very busy on the A1M southbound through junction 9 for Letchworth to 7 for Stevenage. On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's busy between junction 17 for Maple Cross and 16 for the M40. And also on the A405 North Orbital Road, it's looking very slow at the M25 junction 21A roundabout. It's also really busy in Watford. On Chalk Hill, it's looking slow at the Bushy Arches. And also there's the roadworks with Watford Heath being closed in both directions between Oxley Lane and Oxley Avenue, which is causing some delays in and around Watford. On the train departure boards, there are no major delays at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank Thank you very much indeed. It's 8:46. It's Thursday, the 9th of April. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. And an oil exploration firm has announced there could be up to 100 billion barrels of oil beneath the south of England. Up to, so it could be as little as one. Let's get the weather. Here's Elizabeth.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's fine and dry again today. Lots of blue skies and sunshine. Still some clouds we burnt back, though, from eastern areas in particular. We've currently got temperatures between 5 and 7 degrees, so a little bit of a chilly start this morning, yes, but lovely by this afternoon. We'll be looking at highs of widely 16 or 17 degrees. Some spots could even get close to 18 or even 19 degrees. Not completely out of the question for somewhere probably nearer the M25, really, but yeah, really lovely day. Lots of blue skies, sunshine, some fair weather cumulus cloud bubbling up here and there through the afternoon. The winds will stay light. Overnight tonight we'll do the whole thing all over again. Clear skies, staying dry, some mist patches into tomorrow morning forming. Overnight lows of 5 or 6 degrees typically in many of the towns, lower than that in the rural spots. Tomorrow another dry day with lots of sunshine around. The temperatures will probably peak tomorrow. We may well see highs of 19 or even 20 degrees somewhere across the three counties. There will be a bit of cloud around to lose through the course of the morning and some fair weather cloud into the afternoon, but all in all a really lovely day. The temperatures will become a little bit cooler, I think, over the course of the weekend, and there will be a bit more cloud feeding in, particularly on Sunday, but still looking fine and dry into next week. That's the forecast.
As the general election gets closer, we want to know what you really think.
Sometimes it gets a bit boring, I think.
But we kind of feel like nothing changes.
Parliament really needs a good shake-up.
We're holding a number of debates across Beds, Herts and Bucks, focusing on the biggest issues.
The national health, I think that's a big concern at the moment.
Immigration, probably.
I think education more than anything.
If you'd like to take part and have your say, you can register your interest right now. Email 3cr@bbc.co.uk or call 08459 455 555.
I always do the vote because I think it's my right to vote.
Election 2015 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
We're watching Japanese... there you go. Pitakora Suichi. Oh, here it is. Oh, Kelly Betts. She excels herself. So imagine the little film you're watching there with... I need to find a...
Shall I describe it? Do you remember the beginning of... I
need to explain something.
The Great Egg Race.
Yes.
I obviously don't know the song.
Yeah.
Or the band.
Yeah.
So I have just got the first thing with that name.
Perfect. It's 31 seconds, yeah? 31 seconds.
And it's them live.
Then it's this. Oh, I've known this for ages. This is so good. And that's the music that plays while that's going on. Oh!
So this is a programme where people... It's like
Thank you, Kelly. That's made me very happy.
It's an engineering programme, really, isn't it? It's a different kind of machine set up and slides and shoots and things, and it all ends with... the vehicle getting to the end and it flashing a sign that says Pythagoras Switch.
Right, that band, let me say, it's very, very... It's not... Recorder Quartet, OK. I love them. I managed to track them down, and it turned out that one of them was going to be playing in London with another band. OK, it's a Japanese band, and I got them in on a radio show doing an LBC, and they only spoke Japanese. It was brilliant, and now I have them just speaking Japanese and are sort of communicating. So we had one member of the Recorder Quartet. We phoned up his friends in Japan, and they played that song live on the telephone and in the studio. And then, like, a year later, I was going to Japan. I thought, I'll email them, see if they're playing any gigs. And I emailed them and said, you may remember I interviewed you guys on the phone, and I'm going to be in Tokyo on these dates and these dates. I wonder if you're playing any gigs. Thought nothing of it. A week later, they emailed back, we have set up a gig for you and your wife. We will be great honours to have you as our guest. And they put on a gig for us in a club.
Cool.
And then the next day they turned up at our hotel and said, right, we're going to take you around Tokyo. They spent all day and wouldn't let us pay for anything. Oh, the nicest people in the world.
That is so good, because I didn't dare go into Tokyo because I thought I'd get terribly lost.
I love the Kurikorda Quartet. And then, anyway, that's fine. Justin!
Hey!
What have we sent you out on? It's been such a long time,
Yeah.
And he's in discomfort.
I'm in discomfort with that and the subject of our big phone-in. Kath, would you like to explain?
What about the discomfort? I think it's the jeans.
I am staying out of this. There is real beef between you two. I'm going to check my messages on my phone.
Now, earlier on, I was telling you the story in one of the newspapers about a woman who gave birth at the bus stop. She couldn't hold it in any longer. Literally, it popped out at the bus stop, and her husband had to deliver the baby there. Baby's called Charlotte, in case you're interested. Very nice name, traditional. So I thought, rather than doing where have you given birth, which is what everyone else would do, I'd say, what was the last thing you had delivered?
Yeah.
Justin took exception to that one.
You sent me off to St Albans.
Yes.
Which is where I am right now. Now, before I play this, can I just say that I cannot polish a doodah? Okay.
Yes, you can. You freeze it first. Next question.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Catherine,
listen, I've been polishing doodahs for 18 months now.
I'm giving you the hand and the eye. Yes, Justin.
It's tense. So, I've tried my best on this one.
Yeah.
Got
Seriously,
some very
freeze
strange
it
looks.
first.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question again?
What was the last thing you had delivered?
Yeah. I've been on the streets of St Albans asking the question, which is unique and different. Here's what happened. Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Thomas Boyle.
Thomas, great hat. Nice scarf as well. Good swag. What was the last thing that you had delivered?
A bill. The water bill.
Exciting stuff. OK, mate. Thanks very much. Jacqueline, you had your delivery on Saturday. What was delivered?
Some supplements.
Some supplements? What, legal ones?
Yes.
Yeah? What were they?
Glucosamine and rosehip extract.
What does that mean?
It's just a supplement.
And what do you take that for?
Painkiller, osteoarthritis.
Oh, OK. So it arrived on Saturday and you're feeling better?
Yes.
Again, so it's a great story. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Michael, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. Very well indeed.
Lovely. Michael, when was the last time you had something delivered?
Ages ago, I think. Nothing apart from post.
Good contribution. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Morning, boss. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack. What was the last thing that was delivered to your house?
An exhaust from a moped.
Yeah. Was it big? Was it chunky?
It's quite chunky.
Yeah. And when it arrived, did it make you feel? Did it make you feel great as a human being?
I was in a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You in a good mood today?
Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah.
I'm half asleep still.
All right, mate. Okay, that's a great story. Really, really good. Thank you very much. Covey, when was the last time you had something delivered?
Yesterday, I had a single bed delivered to me around 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 o'clock, yeah. Good information. Why a single bed?
Because I thought that's the best bed for me, rather than the double. Because I don't need a double.
So you haven't got a lady in your life?
No.
I mean, you're not thinking long term though? You can't have a single bed forever, can you?
Probably in the future. Yeah. Not right now.
I think you've made the wrong decision, mate.
I don't think I have, because right now I prefer a single bed.
Okay. We're getting quite deep here. I'll leave you to it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Wow, that was...
See, I think that you missed a trick there.
Catherine just said to me, Justin, I think two in a single bed is romantic. I hate it. This is why I hated being this is why I didn't want to have girlfriends when I was a student.
Exactly.
That was my choice.
That's what that was what it reminds me of.
My choice not to have girlfriends when I was a student, because I didn't want to be single bed. No, I want to have a sleep.
You're stolen moments. No, you're not asleep.
I want to have a sleep.
It's just a supplement.
Sorry?
Oh, that helped as well with people with osteoarthritis. Rose hip and what?
Catherine, it was a dull Vox. I
don't think he put his weight behind it.
You've wasted his Dealey's talent. Could you stop?
Listen, I put my weight behind that. When I joined the BBC, it was always my dream to go on the streets of St Albans asking, what did you last have delivered?
Tell you what I last had delivered.
Go on.
This?
The drone.
You're going to break that.
just flew it straight at her head, Justin, to teach her a lesson. I won't do it again, I promise.
No, you won't. I'm having the
No,
controller.
let me have the control. Seriously, let me have a go at the control. Mate, I've taught you how to
The
be a
circle
woman.
of trust has been broken.
I've taught her how to be a woman.
No, you haven't.
I can.
No, you're all right.
Oh, just bash me in. Animal.
I think
Justin,
I've got the hang of this.
What's on the show on Saturday, please?
On the show on Saturday, we have the UK and American charts from this weekend in 1968, plus requests from the streets of Kensworth, including one man who's asked for a song. His memories behind the song, I Was Having It.
He was having it.
Yeah, it's an Oasis song.
1968. I'm a little bit hazy on 1968.
I'm going to give you a clue.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, the number one
Yeah.
from this weekend back in 1968 is a track that I used to love until I went to Frankie and Benny's in Hemel Hempstead recently.
Oh. Well, that's not
If
much
you've been
of a
to that
clue,
restaurant,
mate.
you'll get this.
All right, Justin. We'll listen and be intrigued. Thank you. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Ta-ta. What are you in here for? Do you have you got papers or something you want to do? I don't know what.
I've got 3 minutes to kill.
Oh, then you go through the papers. You see what you can find. I've lost my sheet with the answers.
Oh, that jewellery heist, eh?
Oh yeah, no, you don't be one of those people that comes down on the side of the thugs, the thieves.
No, not at all. But
the crooks.
But you've got to say they put some effort in, didn't they?
Well, tell us what happened.
Apparently, I don't know really, but I heard the words abseiling and lift shaft brought in.
Tom Cruise styling.
It wasn't just a smash and grab. They were probably wearing catsuits.
Can I just say to the very litigious Tom Cruise, I'm not in any way suggesting you're involved with that scam.
Although you have got form.
Well, no, Tom Cruise is very litigious, and I know we're not talking about the thing that he likes to sue for, but Tom, I'm not in any way suggesting that you use your Mission Impossible skills to abseil down that lift shaft. I would not for a second suggest that Tom Cruise would go down a shaft for some crown jewels. That would never happen.
But apart from Tom Cruise, a major league bandit shouldn't be too hard to spot with a sombrero.
Yeah.
Linked to a string of raids is among a handful of villains who could have masterminded the Hatton Garden heist, it was said last night. The so-called King of Diamonds. Again, shouldn't be too hard to find checking in under that name.
Yeah.
It's thought to be leading contender as cops hunted the brains behind Easter's £200 million robbery.
And the picture they've posted is rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
It looks like the man from Del Monte.
Doesn't it?
He said, yeah, I loaded.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, there are queues between junction 25 for Enfield and 24 for Potters Bar because the lorry's broken down. It's also looking slow anti-clockwise through junction 16 for the M40. And on the A1M southbound, it's very slow between junction 9 for Letchworth and 7 for Stevenage. On the A1 southbound, it's slow approaching the Black Cat roundabout from the St Neots junction. And in Little Haddam on the A120 westbound, we're hearing that there are queues between Albury Road and the Puckeridge roundabout. And Iain just called to say that it's actually closed in both directions, so we'll find out more for you. On the trains, there is no reports of any major delays at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. That's it. That's your lot for today. If you want to get the podcast, you can go to our iTunes. You're right. Oh, flipping it. Whenever you pick it up, always look to see if the propellers are on there. iTunes, type in Iain Lee BBC. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Justin. Catherine, we really do need to have a talk. Till tomorrow at 6 from us. Ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Iain. Good morning. Welcome to the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon-Smith. It's Thursday. It's 9 o'clock, and on today's Big Phone In, do you have sympathy for bosses who don't want to employ fat people? Nearly half of Britain's bosses are unlikely to hire overweight workers as they're seen as less productive. That's the findings of a new survey which polled over 1,000 employers about their attitudes to obese workers. When asked why, common replies were they wouldn't be able to do the job required, or they wouldn't be able to play a full role in the business. Well, I want to hear your reaction to this morning. Do you have sympathy for bosses who don't want to employ fat people? Pick up the phone, come on and have your say on 08459 455 555.
This is the JVS Show
on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Your call in just a second, but first let's get the latest BBC News at 9 o'clock. Here's Simon Oxley.
The headlines: Bedfordshire company creating thousands of apprenticeships, major oil find under the south of England, and fundraiser welcomes backing for attacked Watford fan.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Bedfordshire-based Whitbread has announced plans to create thousands of new apprenticeships and work experience places at their Premier Inn and Costa Coffee chains. David Cameron has hailed Whitbread's plans for 6,000 new places. Meanwhile, the Conservatives have confirmed their commitment to renew the Trident nuclear deterrent. Labour have denied they're willing to scrap it as part of a deal with the SNP, but Defence Secretary Michael Fallon is sticking by his claim.
Defence is, of course, the prime duty of any government, and our announcement today makes it absolutely clear where we stand. If you vote Labour, there is still a doubt as to what a future Labour government, propped up by the SNP, would be able to guarantee.
An oil exploration firm has announced that there could be up to 100 billion barrels of oil beneath the south of England, beneath the Weald Basin in Surrey and Sussex. Only some of it can be extracted, but the BBC's John Moylan says it's still the most significant onshore discovery in the area for more than 30 years.
Because we're talking about oil that's held in tight rocks like shale, you will only ever get a fraction of it out, something like